position to score. It is a walk-off win for the Rangers on an RBI single by Marcus Semien. Rangers win it 6-5 in 10.
Welcome in, DFW. Glad to have each and every one of you on board on this overcast Sunday morning. It is the Fan After Dark on a Sunday morning. Chilling, hanging out, taking in the Sunday morning vibes, and more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, enjoying another Rangers victory. We said yesterday, might this be the hottest team in baseball? Well, guess what? Last night, they stamped it. Your Texas Rangers with a come-from-behind ninth-inning rally, 10th inning go-ahead single by Marcus Semien, who, oh, by the way, was drilled in the head earlier in the game. We'll discuss that throughout the course of the show as well. But let's talk about it. Your Texas Rangers now a half game out of the final wild card spot, and even more impressively, 5 games out in the AL West with a slumping Houston Astros team. But we've got so much to get to. I'm Fred Davis. That gentleman to my right is none other than the phenom himself, Mr. Blake Elliott.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning. I don't know if I've been on at 9 a.m. anytime soon. It feels like it's been a hot little minute. Since
on a Sunday?
A 9 a.m. Sunday morning feels very unusual for me.
We've done some 9 a.m. Saturday shows. Again, they are few and far between because we know that that's typically when CA and Will would do their thing, or now CA and Jake. We were on at 10 yesterday, and look, I'm going to...
Even 10 felt like later in the day.
Well, it's so funny you say that, because as I was resting my head on my pillow last night and debating on how early do I need to get up if I want to get to the gym, get my workout on, and make it to the show, I was like, man, that 9 to 10 is a big difference. Okay, it doesn't seem like an hour. Doesn't seem like much.
Depends where the hour's placed.
But it depends on where the hour is placed. And let's call it what it is. Look, Sunday morning, I felt like I was in Greece, Blake. Yeah. You know why? Because nothing's open.
Yeah,
at 7:45.
Relatable.
And even if it is open, people don't show up.
Streets are barren still.
They are.
Nobody on the highway.
They are. It's a lot of walk of shames going on right now. If you are having a walk of shame, if you just had to boot somebody out of your apartment or house or wherever you might be staying at, 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. That is the Frankel and Frankel Injury Attorney text line, as the Fan After Dark takes you up until 1 p.m., 1300 for those of you operating on the 24-hour clock, where we hand off the broadcast baton to the Texas Rangers Radio Network. And I'll tell you what, it's a good time right now to be a part of the Texas Rangers Radio Network. It's a good time to be a part of the Texas Rangers fan club, because right now this team is balling and playing great baseball.
I'm getting pretty used to saying after a Rangers W. They keep competing. They're beating the teams they should. And I like how they're doing it in different fashions. They've played some subpar teams, and sometimes they run up the score and we see a lot of runs. And then you can sometimes equate that to the other team not being very good. And then also they play these close games, able to be clutch in extra innings. And you're seeing...
Clutch in the ninth inning.
Clutch in the ninth, clutch in extras. The thing that I think I appreciate the most is it's not just one guy carrying this team. It's not as if Corey Seager is just putting the team on his back, or Adolis.
You said it right there.
Well, I mean, Corey Seager has...
No, but I'm saying you said it right there, though, that other people outside of what you're talking about.
Yes, like Corey Seager's been phenomenal, one of the best players in July.
26 games in a row on base.
But you're getting contributions from a different role player, if you will, every night, whether it's a Sam Haggerty and Semien stepping up and being just a consistent guy. Now you're getting Jonah Heim getting back to his form.
How about 2 huge hits yesterday from Jonah Heim?
Jonah Heim, man.
All right. Jonah Heim, a guy that we've talked about, much maligned this year. And
like, if it won't be him today, it'll be Evan Carter tomorrow. Be Josh Smith today.
Evan Carter had a huge hit yesterday. But to your point about Jonah Heim, here's a guy who, and this is what's been interesting about this Ranger team all throughout the course of 2025 this year. Adolis, not great in right field. Or excuse me, stop. Not great at the plate.
I'm about to say, I feel like he's
amazing
a
in right field. That's what I'm saying, and that's where I was going with this. Fred's brain still.
Someone said my energy needs to be catch up to yours. Is my energy super low?
I don't know that my energy. I mean, but again, let me tell you guys something on a Sunday morning. Fatties and Tolos, all right? And this is courtesy of Chris Arnold, who I thought he and I were going to go to blows one morning. You don't bring the same. It would be irresponsible of us to be hooping and hollering on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. like we do at 7 p.m. on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Correct.
It's not the same.
Trying to match the energy. This texter didn't like it though.
Well, hey, sorry for you. I'm number one, glad you're tuning in. Let's call that what it is. All right. But again, now tune in at 10, 11 o'clock after we've had a couple hours after I finish this coffee, and it might.
This is my coffee. I had coffee. I had a frappuccino. Does that count?
No, it doesn't.
Frappe? Is that coffee
again?
based?
That's just because it has caffeine, and it doesn't mean that it's
so
coffee.
a frappe has no coffee at all. What is it then? I'm just drinking milk ice cream.
I mean, it's like a milkshake, is what it is.
But it's not. So what makes it a frappuccino?
It is.
I'm agreeing.
Maybe
I'm
have ice
agreeing
cream,
that it's
but
not as coffee based as just drinking black coffee, but. What makes a frappuccino?
Again, I don't drink frappuccinos, so I couldn't speak to that. I just know it's not coffee.
It's just not black coffee. But it is. I think it is coffee based.
Is it? 877-881-1053. What's a frappuccino? I'm sure there's some Starbucks nerd out there right now that can answer.
Yeah, I think it's cream, milk, and coffee.
Maybe it is.
And a little bit of caramel syrup.
Sounds like a milkshake to me. Looks like a milkshake.
I guess a lot of things look like a milkshake, but a frappuccino,
that is.
Frappuccino, a little bit silkier, a little bit lighter texture.
Is it?
Milkshake, a little bit thicker, heavier. Maybe you get a spoon on the side.
Who's making it.
Sonic.
I remember one time.
I guess it's a blast.
Look, I got you you ordered. I went to Starbucks because
vanilla bean frappuccino.
You guys know that I'm it's kind of an on again off again boycott that I've got going on with Starbucks right now. That vanilla bean thing.
Yep.
Okay, that was straight up ice cream, bro. It straight up looked like a milkshake.
I get it. I'm not saying it doesn't look like nor taste like.
I remember you specifically saying, "Where's the straw?"
Yeah,
there was no.
And then
straw.
Fred replied, "You need a straw for coffee." I said, "Well, yeah, if I was just drinking black coffee, probably not, but I'm not, so I would like a straw for this, like you said, milkshake."
Yeah,
made it a little tough. I don't think you gave me anything.
No, I didn't. I did. I mean, look, that's how they gave it to me.
And you didn't. You didn't think that?
I didn't think because I don't order them. Okay,
but did you look at it?
No, I didn't.
Did your eyes close?
It looked. You know what it was?
Just hand it to me. It's not for me.
I looked at it in disgust. It's what I looked at it in.
I mean, I could have guessed
because my daughter orders frappuccinos,
and they're good,
and I'm sure they're tasty. I'm sure they're quite scrumptious.
See, here's the thing, and then we'll get back to some more Rangers. I promise you guys. The older I've gotten, I talked about this with my friend yesterday. I do not care what people think of me. Like when it comes to in a social setting, if I want to order a quote unquote girly drink or
you can order a frap all day,
an appetizer that someone doesn't like or not liking sushi. Maybe young Blake would
Who
get. Who
doesn't like sushi?
Me, I don't. But it's not because I don't think it's good. That's just I don't like raw seafood. That was remember my list yesterday.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, but that's a not liking seafood or sushi.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like that.
Agreed.
Okay? Drinking a frappuccino.
Nothing wrong with it.
I'm not saying there is.
Now, if you said Blake, like if you're like when your friend is like purchasing something for you, picking up, and you said, "Hey Blake, I'll get you coffee, but I'm not buying you frappuccino." That's your choice because it's your money.
Yeah,
but if I
wouldn't do. But that's an a-hole thing to do.
Agree, but it's your money.
I'll buy you something, but it ain't gonna be that. And so then what are we doing?
Yeah,
no, I'm gonna mock you for it,
and that's completely fine. You buy it, so you can mock me as you want.
Because I feel more comfortable. Oh, you want a vanilla bean, and I want to make sure everybody hears. You want a vanilla bean frappuccino with extra caramel drizzle? Did I hear that correct?
And then I would correct you. Say no whipped cream. Make sure you put the caramel pumps in there.
With the caramel pumps?
With a smile on your face, too.
That's right.
Joaquin.
Absolutely. And I would do it, and we'd share a laugh about it, and that would be the end of it.
Of course. We're cheering a laugh about the Texas Rangers, who cannot stop winning. What are they, 14-3 in their last 17 games, I believe?
Is that what the deal is? Let's see. Here, I got it in front of me right now. In their last... Are we... Okay, well, I mean, here's the thing about baseball. You can pick any indiscriminate date, Like
when they started winning.
Since June 7th, they've got the highest runs per game in baseball. And then you guys say, well, what was so great about June? What happened on June 6th?
Don't worry about
what happened June 4th?
Don't worry about those days.
We don't care about those days, right? So, are we going from when they started the road trip against the Padres? Are we starting? Because I know a lot of people are using since the Astros series. Why aren't we using the Angels series? Okay. I mean, again, we can pick whatever.
11-4 in their last 15. Astros in that same stretch, 15 games.
I saw that.
Per Jared Sandler, 5-10.
I did see that.
Rangers.
Jared, by the way, have you texted Jared yet?
We're waiting. We're efforting.
Okay, no, perfect. No. That's perfect. That's perfect. No, because
Jared Sandler's an aura farmer on Twitter.
He loves picking fights with.
Did y'all see that dot race he did, by the way, with Elvis?
I saw that.
That was fantastic.
How come they don't ask me and Blake to do stuff like that?
That'd be perfect for us.
Oh, we'd crush everybody. I'm telling you right now.
I'm surprised. Never mind.
If you're scared, say you're scared.
I'm not gonna make a short Jared joke. Well, it's too early for that. We'll wait. We'll wait till like 10:30.
But Jared's got some scoots though.
He does have some scoots.
Jared's
we know he's athletic, and if we get him on, this is a perfect time. I don't think we've had him on since we've made our comments about being the most athletic. I don't think we've had him on since.
I was on with me and Kevin had him on, but we were just talking baseball with him.
I'm sure Jared will find a way to roast us, even though he knows we'd beat him in any kind of basketball capacity. He'll find a way to roast us, so where he's still coming out.
Well, we just ask him. Look, in a 2-on-2, who you taking?
Yeah.
Media wise.
Yeah, at the station. Not just media.
Pick your guy.
Yeah.
Do media.
No, of course.
Do media.
Who do you think he's picking? Bassick.
I would say Bassick, but my question is, how much does Bassick hoop?
Yeah, Bassick.
How much do I hoop?
After 2 buckets, where Bassett's, I think, done for.
You think so?
I think Bassick is very talented. I think we both have said that. But as far as stamina,
I could see his mid range. I think he's got a wet mid range. I guarantee it.
And Jared can't stay in front of me, so that's
two
mismatches.
That's who you're gonna. I was gonna say that's who you're gonna. I mean, I would think me and Bassick would bang down low. I mean, that would be a long day because Bassick's
Perkins.
a big dude.
Who is that? That's like it's like Greg Oden versus Kendrick Perkins.
It's more like Detlef Shrimp versus Jim McIlvaine for 10 minutes or something like that. But no, so we're efforting to get our boy Jared. But Jared made a great point, and I thought the same thing yesterday after watching this game, after this comeback win last night. That's not a game you win in May.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
They're doing all the things. I want to say it was Kevin the other day that said it's like all the games that they were, these 50-50 games that they were losing, they're now winning all of these.
No, that's exactly right.
And they're winning in different ways. Pitching, hitting, late, blowing teams out, bullpen games, starting pitching looking phenomenal. Your young pitchers looking good. Your older pitchers looking good. Like, I think that's the fun thing about this team right now is it's not just one capacity where it feels, at least in Blake's eyes and brains, it feels sustainable. We know that Bruce Bochy is one of the best, if not the best manager in the game. We know what
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hands down. Best manager in baseball.
We know what Maddox brings on the coaching staff. And then Brett Boone has turned around this team at the plate where they look like a competent team every game they step out there. Because we've seen them go against some really good pitchers and play well. We've seen them go against some average pitchers and still look well. Like, there hasn't been very many games where we've looked at in the last 2-3 weeks where there's just like slumpers throughout throughout a whole game, from everyone at the plate. You're getting contributions from a lot of different pieces, and also the continuity, there is none. Players going up, down, different players going in, and you're still getting the same consistency. It doesn't matter who's in the outfield, who's getting a day off. I'm very proud right now of this Rangers team.
Well, and you lucked out last night in the 10th inning when and this is why the Braves are 44-59 and are probably the biggest disappointment in baseball right now.
With all that talent, man.
Well, this is a team that a lot of people had, kind of penciled in as a World Series contender, and the 10th inning kind of, to me, and again, I'm not going to pretend like I've watched 50, 70 different Atlanta Brave baseball games, but just watching from afar, the base running miscue pretty much summarized kind of their season last night, right? Like, you have a chance to get the go-ahead run. Tellez bobbles the ball, all right? Homeboy's halfway down, and, and again, now, is that a bang-bang type of deal? Absolutely it is. But if this guy says the hell with it and goes to charges home, he scores. Because, again, Tellez bobbled the ball. right? And, luckily was still able to get the runner at first, but, Olsen stays put at third. Armstrong strikes out the next batter. Boom, done. All right. And then, of course, obviously the Rangers go do what they need to do in the next inning. Simeon takes care of business. Game over. But the mistakes and just kind of the hard luck losses that you had early on in the year. And we're gonna listen we're gonna revisit the Pilar audio because you had a great stat that we'll share in the in the 940 segment about Pilar. I didn't think what he said was as inflammatory and as terrible as everybody made it out to be. Okay, if you think back to what he said, and you look at it kind of in the context of what that team was going through when he was on the baseball team, and you look at this team now, and then the one thing that when Laura Stickles asked Marcus Simeon last night after the game, what's the difference between this team right now and what you guys were doing at the beginning of the year? And he said, we're having fun.
I'm having fun.
And
right
I
now.
don't think there's as trite or as benign as that sounds, there's something to be said for professional athletes having fun, playing their game, playing loose, and that's a testament to Chris Young. That's a testament to Bruce Bochy. And I'll tell you what, that's a testament to Mike Maddox, who walks out in the first inning. Kamar Rocker's getting rocked, no pun intended, and Mike Maddox goes out there, calms him down. All right, he only gives up the one run. Shout out to Jonah Heim and shout out to Adolis with the excellent throw last night in that first inning to gun him down at first base to save an extra run from scoring. And it's little things like that that continue to add up as to why this team is the hottest team in baseball post All-Star.
All right, lay this show out for us, and I am making a change on the fly. Let's just keep the Rangers talk going and talk Kevin Pilar next.
You want to do the Kevin Pilar, swap it out? Yeah. I like where your head's at. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so what you just said, Brian Broaddus. Listen, if you liked what you heard yesterday, and of course we all know what you're getting with the Super Bowl winning scout. He's out at Oxnard, California. He's going to join us at 10 o'clock. We got a little fair foul. We'll take a trip around the National Football League. 11:40, fluid, boys and girls, fluid. We may do a new segment. We may have Jared Sandler. We shall wait and see. Top 5, that's going to go down at 12:20. A little top 5 skill players in the National Football League. We're, month away from the season starting. We're excited about that. Top 5 tight ends, wide receivers, running back, in no particular order. And then, of course, we will get into a little Khakis Kicks later on in the program as well. But coming up next,
Kevin Pilar made some comments about a month ago, and the Texas Rangers heard those comments. What has their record been, and what do they look like since? Let's break down the numbers next on the Fan After Dark in the morning.
The more time you give, the more our crush grows. Together we continue to build something special. Keep
true that you've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has both?
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be a, what was it, Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Singing Sisters?
Laser Babes.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg Maidens?
Pre-curve?
No,
Nutmeg Maiden.
I just said that. Was it Spice Girl?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Squad?
There is never an out-of-pocket cost. They only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel, the go-to for car and truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
1-1. There's a drive down the right field line, and that is in there for extra bases. Haggerty scores. Heim on his way to second base. He stands with a double, and he has tied the game at 5.
Jonah Heim, holler if you hear me. The coffee's starting to settle in a little bit. We're starting to kick in. We're starting to rock and roll a little bit. Welcome into the Fan After Dark on a just
Crispus.
Sunday morning. I'll tell you what. But you know what? It's not uber hot. It's not uber sticky. Nice morning to sit on your front porch, maybe your back porch, maybe
With a Frappuccino.
with a frap, with a cup of coffee, maybe a dog rocket. You know what I'm saying? Get you a square, just kind of sit there, and maybe a cigar or something like that on a Sunday morning. Maybe you're blowing trees this morning. Whatever. I was driving by a guy smoking a blunt this morning.
Someone texted, "Love the show."
Okay, that's
But.
it. So there's a but. But
Y'all need a new show name. Ain't even after dark half the time y'all are on. Just saying.
well, look.
One, we don't control the schedule.
I mean, what do you want from us, bro? I mean, I don't know what
Fluctuating.
you, I mean,
We're the only show that fluctuates as much, so our
Yeah,
show,
we are.
unfortunately, kind of
first world problems.
first world problem.
Okay,
We're just glad we have a
It's
show and a
first
show
world
name.
problem. All right.
We're glad you know the show name.
Look, the fact that you are aware of the different times that we're on speaks to the fact that we are on at different times of the day.
Yeah, so we'll take that.
And the fact that, and I'll tell you what. So I got it real quick. We'll get to the Pilar stuff here in a second. That's a Sunday morning. Blake showed me how to do a story last Sunday. All right, I did not know how to do.
Your
Look,
life's changed.
I'm look for. I get that.
Now you got to explain what story means.
Well,
There's probably some people that don't know what a story
explain something else first, real
Okay,
quick.
go
Look,
ahead.
I get that. The youthful exuberance that I exude on the radio belies my age.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
You may-
using the word belies doesn't.
You may say to yourself, "Wow, that guy's 44 years old now." There's things I say, you're like, "Oh yeah, he's definitely 44 years old." When I'm getting roasted by my coworkers, okay, whether it's Khaki Kevin, obviously Blake does it on a regular. I mean, almost every segment. Jake, Dylon, everybody makes fun of my age at some form or fashion. Okay, and we've come to embrace it. It's a part of the show now. I didn't know how to do stories. Last Sunday, we were coming back from the Rangers game. Hell, the last time they've lost. I was talking to Blake, and I'm saying, I don't really know how to do a story.
He's talking about an Instagram
On
story.
an Instagram story. So
See,
Blake takes...
He's still being an old head about it. Stories. Like you sound like you're writing a story.
So Blake takes literally 5 minutes, if that. I don't even know if it took us 5 minutes, maybe 3, I don't know, 4, to show me how to make a story on Instagram. My life's changed ever since.
Well, don't you remember I also showed you how to repost on your story on Instagram when someone tags you in something
You
as
did
well.
you did show me how to do that, but I don't get tagged very much. So that being said, I had to take it to the next level. I had to take matters into my own hands. I can't rely on
others.
I certainly can't rely on the 105.3 The Fan web guy to attach me in anything. All right, we know that much. All right, still we're efforting. Shout out to Josh. I think he's on vacation this week. I think it was last week, the week before. Anyway, we digress. But Blake showed me how to create a story, and I'll tell you what, the interaction with you fans out there. Next level. I got people I don't even know. I got people loving us up on the show, telling us what a great job we're doing, and it's been fantastic. It's a good thing.
It's a lot of communication.
It's a lot of communication. All right. A lot of people making fun of the way I write. That caught a lot of flack yesterday. Okay, I didn't know that my print was so hard to read.
Okay, that's why I don't put mine out there because mine's even worse.
Yeah, no, yours definitely looks suspect.
I would agree.
You know.
So wild, in fact, that people talked about that more than my Jets take.
Yeah, no one even
yes, that's exactly right. More people were taken aback by my handwriting, writing down Kevin's Jets take that they're going to go 11-6 and win the playoffs as
Maybe
much
they
as
couldn't
they
even
were.
read it.
Yeah, which I mean, I thought it was pretty straightforward what it said. I mean, look, my handwriting has gotten exponentially better in the last couple years. So I'm not really sure.
Taking penmanship classes?
And, look, dare I say, and I guess this is where the old head in me comes out again, I come from a generation where we still wrote things. I understand I can't, I can't thumb everything like you guys do.
I thought that was a typewriter noise.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's whatever noise you want it to be. So
any nose?
Anywho.
Let's get into
the Kevin Pillar stuff.
Pillar. So if you missed it a month ago, Kevin Pillar went on a MLB podcast.
No, it was what, Foul Territory?
Oh, was it Foul Territory?
Yeah.
Okay, it was on Foul Territory. And kind of talking about being let go by the Rangers and kind of what his experience was like and maybe why he did not fit in with the Texas Rangers during his stint with them early on in the season.
I thought they would be a little bit tighter as a group. I thought it would be like, kind of like my experience in Atlanta. That was probably one of the tightest groups since, I was in Toronto. It's like everyone just, pulled on the same rope. Everyone wanted to hang out. Everyone wanted to do everything together. Everyone, winning was the most important thing every day. And, when I got in the clubhouse in Texas, there's a lot of talent in there, and there's just a lot of individual stuff going on. A lot of guys are doing their own thing. You might not see people till the game goes on. Guys are kind of just doing their own thing, whether they have their own and there's not a knock against people that have their own routines, right? Some people, have routines where they do like training room and they do their own stuff in the weight room. They have everything kind of timed out. As you get older in the game, you earn that right to kind of like, this is how I go through my routine.
No BP.
Yeah, not a lot of BP, not a lot of, stretching together. And I just felt like maybe for me, just being kind of the outcast, because it's a lot of the same guys there that won the World Series. So maybe I was kind of on the outside. I was kind of looking more of a way to kind of, get in that inner circle. And a lot of that times that comes through, stretch and BP where you talk about things other than baseball. You get to know guys a little bit more. And that would even start like in spring training. To me, the reason I think a lot of guys just got off to a bad start individually, and the pitching was so good, and we were still winning. They were still winning games. I guess it was we at the time. They were still winning games. It just seemed like the winning didn't seem. It didn't. A lot of guys weren't like enjoying that we were winning games. A lot of people got caught up in their own failures.
Okay. When this first came out, again, when you're a 500 team, and this is the most consequential part of sports. When you're winning is the ultimate deodorant, right? It doesn't matter. You could have guys out till 3-4 in the morning, getting crunk, doing whatever the hell that is they do. When you're winning games, nobody cares what you're doing off the field. All right? Nobody cares what you're doing in the clubhouse, locker room. People don't care. When you start losing, all that gets amplified. All it takes is one former player. All it takes is one guy leaking a story. All losing changes everything. And that's when you start, examining things a lot differently. I don't think there was anything wrong with anything that Kevin Pillar said in that bit. I really, really don't. And I'll tell you what, Chris Young said that, he didn't think his comments were all that bad. Maybe he wished he would have, maybe thought he could have worded them a little bit differently. The individual stuff, we've heard guys talk about that. We've heard that, Corey, and I'm guessing he's talking about some of the guys like the Corey Seagers, the Marcus Simeons of the world, who they do their own thing, right? They do have, and Brett Boots talked about it. One of the things that he when he came on as hitting coach, that there was a lot of guys that had their own hitting coaches, right? And so you got to be. It's a fine line that you got to walk when you're trying to get your point across, but yet, okay, somebody's got his thing that he's going on. Mike Bassick told a story about how I can't remember the player he used. Dadgummit, I can't remember who the player was, but talked about how, and it might have been Pudge, and again, I'm not 100% sure, but it's a Ranger everybody knows. And it might have been Juan Gonzalez. Either way, point was the hitting coach told him not to do something, and the first thing don't swing at the away stuff. First thing he does, he swings at the away stuff. Right? So, it's one of those things where there's all these different things that are going on. And then when he talks about, even though they were winning, because they were winning close games, you still had guys focusing on the bad stuff, focus on their failures. I'll juxtapose that immediately with what Marcus Simeon said last night, and there was a reason why I teased it at the end of the last segment. You're not having fun when you're focusing on your failures and you're winning 2-1, but you can't hit your way out of a wet paper sack, okay? There's something to be said for, I firmly believe that guys were focusing on their failures because you had a lot of guys slumping. You had the feeling, and you talked about it earlier, Kevin talked about it earlier, when this team got down 1 or 2 runs and it got past the 7th inning, cancel Christmas. It was over. That's not the case right now. That's not the case with this baseball team in the last 15 games. So, dare I say, and you said the record was what since those remarks?
So since those remarks, there has been 19 baseball games played. The Texas Rangers are 13-6. The only team that's been better in that span is the Toronto Blue Jays in Major League Baseball.
Do I think that there is anything, do I think that there was a direct correlation between them winning and these remarks?
This was around the same time Mike Maddox was throwing things in the clubhouse, or excuse me, in the dugout when they blew another lead to the Angels in the 9th inning.
I don't know that this team decided. I don't know that Bruce Bochy sat there in the clubhouse and said, "All right, boys, this is what Kevin Pillar had to say." No, I'm going to tell you right now. There's a lot of truth to what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think there was any. I don't think Kevin Pillar was sitting there crapping on the Texas Rangers. Again, he didn't say that the individual stuff is what made them lose. He thought coming into it that they would be more together. All right, and again,
and maybe 1 or 2 players sees it and maybe changes their attitude. I don't know.
Well, or let's call it what it is. When baseball, and I can't remember who said this. I heard somebody talk about this the other day, is the most individualized team sport there is.
Correct.
Right? Where it's just you and the pitcher. All right?
Doesn't matter what batter's in the dugout.
Adolis could be hitting 700. All right? It doesn't matter because if Jonah Heim gets up to the plate and he's batting 219, it's irrelevant. Okay? Yeah. It's him. It's mano y mano. But look? You know as well as anybody, Blake, especially in baseball where it's an 162-game season and players today and athletes today are more plugged in than they've ever been before, all right? And, look, man, all we heard, we talked about it. A lot of folks, media-wise, had the Rangers as a World Series contender going into this year, all right? It wasn't us being pie in the sky saying, watch out. This is a lot of the same guys 2 years removed from winning a World Series.
Fred Davis is not lying. Kevin Pillar was not lying. The Rangers took notice of what was being said, and they've been one of the hottest teams in baseball. Texting your thoughts of what you're thinking about. About the Rangers. 877-881-1053. That's the Frankel and Frankel Injury Attorney text line. Best way to get involved in the show, especially on the Sunday morning. Maybe we'll get some shout outs along the way.
Did I read this text right? Did I read this text right from Broadus?
You said you want to hang out with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
wait, is he saying from that
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
we're going to figure out.
Clarify, because the web guy will probably throw out an entire series of tweets now that we know Broadus is going to be hanging out with us from 10 to 1.
Broadus may be hanging out with us. We're going to figure out exactly
wink.
what times he's doing that. But before we get Broadus on, we need no Broadus takes. We need Fred and Blake. Let's hand out our training camp darlings. The pads
MVPs.
The pads have not come on yet. They will today.
Go get their jerseys.
We're going to give away the non-padded darling awards for the first week of training camp next on The Fan.
Tolos, it's game time, and Wild Fork Foods has the goods. Shop any of our 9 DFW.
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen that before.
Well, of course you have. It's the Rachel.
Oh, is that your name?
No, I mean like your name.
No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut.
But that's hair on your head.
I'm not saying this is your hair.
Okay, for you.
and Grapevine. Back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They've got more new Chevys than anyone, and they're all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibus, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference. Based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Oh, we got a great text from the 817. The web guy Josh is my brother. That blank is funny. Give him hell. LOL.
Well, hell, go ahead and text him right now. Actually, go ahead and text your brother. I mean, we could do it too, but text your brother because it might mean more coming from you. And tell him to retweet or retext out. I don't care. There I go being an old head again. Re-email that, put it on his Facebook wall, that Brian Broaddus, who's going to join us at 10 o'clock anyway, is going to stick around for the entire majority of the show.
So
the duration of the show.
If you heard it yesterday, we had Broaddus for most of the show. You're getting
Radio
the same
Gold
thing today. If you missed it, and you're like, man, I missed the BBF.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. Blake, Broaddus, and Fred. What
do we sound like?
It sounds like a botched booty lift.
There you go. I got a BBF. A BBF.
I was going to say a boy band.
I mean, that could be, that's a possibility as well.
Is there any other groups other than boy bands
that would have a BBF? Maybe an R. I could see like an R&B, like a really corny R&B group.
Is it only music when we think of like acronyms for groups? Is there other
poorly run governmental agencies?
Yeah, there you go.
Also have a lot of acronyms too. I mean, we learned what that was in the Navy. So
is it just those two?
Fred and Blake, part of the BBF here to serve you a warrant. We've been perusing your Twitter profile.
We are not correlated with BBL. We're our own entity.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead and come with me to the car, please. Got some questions to ask you down at the station.
It's just Broaddus asking scouting questions in the police car. So where were your hands at 10:30 p.m.? Bad leverage. Understand. Hand out on the trigger.
Broaddus just giving his top 5 things of what he wishes he was better at.
I wish I was more patient.
I got a question for y'all before we get into this. Do you think Broaddus is ready for Khakis Kicks today?
Do I? Absolutely.
Because I'm including him.
He's got all the kicks on.
Look, he's
a Hoka man through and through. I know that.
First of all, Broaddus didn't miss a beat yesterday with fair foul.
Wouldn't expect him to.
We had a tremendous fair foul. Blake assumed that everybody Blake conflated alcoholism with high IQs.
Interesting.
So what, you're saying that only high IQ people can be alcoholics? No, stupid people can be too. And then our top 5, and our boy Blake's been on a heater here as of late with the top 5 picks. Top 5 things we wish we were better at. Yes, and that was quite good. And Broaddus had 5 really good ones. So
we all got pretty vulnerable.
Oh no, we got.
You kind of have to.
We really did. We really did. Yeah.
I might have to go on the Odyssey app and listen back.
No, it was a quality segment. But then again, top 5s.
When are they not?
We got some great texts from the.
And you say what you mock my vision as you.
Here's the problem.
Zero in.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Your
eyes? Yeah, outside
my eyes
of that.
are a problem. But the text number is at a terrible opacity. It's a light gray with a white background. So it's very hard to see. The words, when people text them in, are fine because it's black. But the light gray on a white background that's already smaller, not a good look. It said Kevin Pillar with the Rangers segment we were just doing. Didn't understand he wasn't going to be there for a long time. No one asked a hooker their real name. So I think he was saying Pillar was already an outcast for a reason, wasn't here for a long time, and correlating him to a lady of the night.
I mean, look, I get that, but I mean, he's a veteran guy. Like, you brought him in for a reason. I mean, whether or not you planned on having him there for a while, I mean, look, he got here. He wasn't great, all right? I mean, he filled a need for a little bit, and, you know, the thing about it is he spent 10 years in the league, right? I mean, so there's some no, what am I trying to think?
Sustainability?
No, not sustainability. Okay. There's substance, thank you, to what he was saying.
Okay, so we got some prize pick lines for today's show.
Yeah.
First one is it's kind of, you know how you can do the verses when you go on underdog or prize pick, it's like 2 players against each other. Who's gonna have more points?
I haven't done a parlay since.
I haven't done it in a while.
Since the Mavericks.
Since the Mavs were good.
When we were doing regular parlays. As a matter of fact, the last parlay I did, The last parlay I did was during the Final Four.
I definitely have taken a break.
Baseball, I just don't have the same.
Yeah. And it changes every day. You might bet on a player like, actually, they're a late scratch.
I mean, we should probably do. Look, now that the Rangers are playing well again, might be worth.
It is very finicky in baseball.
A couple dollars.
Like you'll be like, I think Corey Seager's going to get a hit. It'll be the one game he goes hitless.
Well, I mean, hell, he's been
walks.
He's been on base 26 games in a row. So
I like betting strikeouts for baseball.
That's a good one. I like that.
Someone was talking about the Jonah Heim strikeouts, and then he got a hit, and they were mad.
Two big hits back to back.
Our prize pick lines for today's show versus series. So it's just whoever gets more wins, if you will. It's not a point by whatever. It's just you versus Broadus.
Right.
People have texted in for both of y'all. For Fred is it's different phrases. Which phrase is said more? The isms, if you will.
Yeah.
For Fred, it's let's just call it what it is. And for Brian Broadus, it's that's what I'm saying. So that's the prize pick
What's the
versus line. Well, it's just they're against each other. They're against
whoever
each other.
says it more.
Yeah.
Whoever says let's call it what it is versus
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So you would take the Broadus line or the Fred line?
That's tough.
It's tough.
Fred is on an extra, what would that be, hour?
What?
I'm saying you're going to be on for an extra hour.
Oh,
you're
really? Kind of from that little gap.
No, from 10 to 1.
Yeah.
From 10 to 1.
The 10 to 1.
Yeah, no.
We'll keep it fair.
And I don't think I've said let's call it what it is yet.
Well,
have
one.
Oh, we're not counting that. But no, you haven't said it yet.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
And now that I know.
You use it when you really get into a segment.
Yeah, exactly. When I really want to.
That's your pandering for gathering your thoughts.
I think it's better than saying nothing.
Yeah.
Better than saying nothing, just being silent. If we're just like, let me think internally on the radio.
Because I'm going to keep talking.
That's a good thing. That's a good power to have it.
That's one thing about Fred Davis that you folks out there, I am not economical with my words.
Someone said, let's go with Blake. His is, huh? Did I say, huh? Someone said, huh, with a bunch of U's and a bunch of H's. Do I say that a bunch? I don't know if I have one. I probably do. I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
I feel
like I don't say, huh. Do I?
I think that's them. I think that's them mocking you. Is what they're doing. That's my gut feeling.
Like not knowing what's going on.
Yes,
that's me all the time.
Well, there you go.
I never know what's going on.
Therein lies what they're you just played into the stereotype.
Fred,
as the old saying goes, stereotypes exist for a reason.
Fred will know what this is. Check out the big brain on Balake.
Oh, someone my bell.
Over under Fred breaking his bell. Okay, let's give out our darlings
we gotta be quick. We gotta be quick.
First week of NFL.
That's right. The metric system.
Camp.
You a smart mother? See, he's never seen Pulp Fiction. Neither one of you jamokes has seen Pulp Fiction.
I need to watch
I've literally told you 3 times I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Someone said, no, Blake, it's a reference. You do not understand Fred sometimes. I mean, he's typing in all caps. He's excited on a Sunday
we don't have, or maybe he's just hyped this morning.
Yeah.
It's all caps branded.
What's that movie I need to see? My All American?
Yes. You actually got it right that time.
I like My Little Pony.
You can watch My Little Pony, Blake. And I mean, it's probably in your queue already.
I'll tell you what. Real quick. You know what? Let's do this with Broadus. This will be a lot more fun with Broadus. But let's tease our 3 choices, then we'll run it by Broadus. Okay. Number 1 is who's the guy for you that if you're handing out who if Blake was handing out the award for MVP of Week 1, who you giving it to?
Kaiir Elam. Biggest jump as well. Like we're gonna name some other guys who we expected to be good, and they're proving that they are good.
Yeah.
Elam, I did not expect to be good.
No.
Like very much they said Elam will not play this season unless someone gets hurt. I'd be like,
you got him for pennies on the dollar too.
Yes, like nobody. I would say 92% of people listening, maybe even 99, did not expect Kaiir Elam to even be getting talked about in these training camp videos. And he's kind of been the highlight of training camps, at least in the second.
He's been great in OTAs. I mean, we've heard about him. We've heard about Kaiir Elam being consistent every step of the way.
Every time there's media out there. So it's not just one media member. It's not just one practice. It's been pretty consistent.
OTAs, mini camp, training camp. He has been a stalwart performer from the jump. All right, Kevin, who's your Week 1 off-season training camp? We haven't had pads yet. MVP.
I would probably say Azaraku. You can't really go through a practice without hearing about him, his natural athletic ability. People are talking about how much he's working on his technique. So I feel like Ezaraku is going to get fits for a lot of the guys, and we've got a lot of guys gunning for that spot.
No, we absolutely do. I'm giving mine to the Cowboys front office. All right. I mean, number one, Tyler
with no Micah deal, you're giving it to Cowboys front office. I feel like that's kind of been the biggest talking point that my casual friends are bringing up to me. That Micah's not paid.
Here's the thing. Guess what? Your friends are talking about it.
Sure.
Okay.
They're like, man, when's Micah going to get paid, Blake?
Ding. When Mike is getting paid. All right. Mike is getting paid one way or the other.
What if
all
he
right.
doesn't?
Is he going to play? Because he's not missing games.
It's not. I mean,
all right. Here's the thing. Who wins then? If Micah plays and it doesn't have a deal, who's winning then? Cowboys front office, okay? So that's that. Tyler Booker, already getting loved up as far as, like, this dude's a freak. Vach said it on Friday's G-Bags, or I think it was Thursday's G-Bag. This guy looks the part of a starting right guard in the NFL.
Very
like,
excited for him.
Immediately plug and play, okay? Ezaraku, you just mentioned him, okay?
So I'll push back. Can we give Will McClay? That's your draft expert. Or do you want to give it to the whole Cowboys front office?
I'm giving it to the whole Cowboys front office. You just think about it. The two guys you just mentioned were off-season additions.
Correct.
Okay? For as much as we lambaste the front office.
We do.
All right? A year ago this time, guess what? And I'll say this, and we'll talk to Broadus about this at 10 o'clock. A year ago, the vibes, as we like to call them, were night and day different. Okay? You had a coach lame duck. You had McCarthy with the same, golly shucks, we're just out here playing football. Okay? Now you got dudes surfing on bodyboards, for God's sakes. I mean, it is not. You got babies being held like Simba after interceptions. That wasn't happening during the McCarthy year.
It wasn't. Good energy. The
energy on this team is night and day different versus what it was a year ago.
When they do their little, in season practice, not in season practice, in camp practice. What is it with the Rams? Where they
inter squad scrimmage.
Thank you. Fight's happening.
Let's do it.
I think there's a fight happening.
Let's do it. Well, Sam Williams Williams might get catapulted into somebody. Yeah. There's no telling. So, and we're here for it. As long as nobody gets hurt. As long as it doesn't get anybody on the injured list, we're okay with that. All right, 1 hour in the books, boys and girls. 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053.
I got a tease for us.
That is the Franklin Fragel Injury Attorney text line. What's the tease, Blake Elliott?
So not only are we going to have Brian Broaddus on next, but the Dallas Cowboys just signed a 4-year deal with one of their players. Who is it? Who got the contract extension? Next.
It's a must-listen on your lunch break.
True that you've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil Babes.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg Maidens?
Paprika?
No.
Nutmeg Maidens.
I just said that. Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Squad?
Sunday morning, and as promised, Blake, take it away.
The Dallas Cowboys here have got some breaking news for us. 105 through the Fan, the only live and local station. You know where to get your news. The Cowboys and standout tight end Jake Ferguson have agreed to terms on a new 4-year extension worth $52 million and new money with $30 million total guarantee. This deal was done by Jack Beshta. This is per Ian Rappaport for the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, breaking news, 4-year extension for Jake Ferguson to stay with the Dallas Cowboys for a good little while. Fred Davis, Brian Broaddus, Kevin Walker here on the Fan on a Sunday morning. And what a better way the best way to introduce Broaddus with breaking news from the Dallas Cowboys. Broaddus.
And nobody better to bring you that breaking news than the folks right here at 105 through the Fan, the only live and local on a Sunday morning.
Come on, baby. Brian Broaddus, how you doing this Sunday morning? It's overcast here in Dallas. Overcast in Cali? Okay. Super overcast.
Yeah, it's known as the marine layer.
There we
right
go.
Right by the ocean. So we've got.
How far are you from the ocean?
Probably 2-3 miles.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's. But yeah, you're where we're staying. We're right on we're in the harbor there, so we're right on the water. It's actually very, very nice over there. Yeah, but we got the marine layer blowing in. I was thinking about the show name, by the way, the BBF.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is that the Big Butt Fail? We were talking about that. We were trying to come up with a name for that.
Broaddus, it could be whatever you want it to be.
And I'm going to, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to work that in a bunch today. I'm doing this a bunch today. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Jake Ferguson. Yeah, let me say this.
Let's call it what it is.
I'm going to do everything I can to really make people upset with me today.
It depends on who they're taking. Are they taking me or you? Because you may make a lot of people excited.
No, they'll be very happy because that's what I am saying. I do say that a lot. I do say that a lot. I admit that. But
you repeat yourself a lot. But you mentioned that yesterday.
I do. Way too much. Jake Ferguson, you guys were given your player list of guys that have been standing out in camp.
Yes.
I'd have to put Jake Ferguson as one of those guys that's going to stand out. He looks healthy.
Well, your list is a lot better than ours because you're actually you got your eyeballs on said list.
Yeah, but Elam and Ezeraku and the Cowboy front office, I like what you did there. That's kind of an out-of-the-box kind of a thought.
You're welcome.
I think I would include Span Ford in that one, Brevin Span Ford. I think on my eyes.
What about my boy Scooney, though? Why is my boy Scooney getting left out?
No, Scooney is, it's not that Scooney's not doing well. Scooney's actually doing very well. It's just Spanford has, the questions about him were, can he be a reliable pass catcher? And there were times last year where he just didn't look comfortable catching the football, and it really what a year difference makes. Working with if he's working in the off season, jugs machine, whatever, having guys throw him the ball, he looks far more comfortable catching the football, whether it's along the sidelines. He made an incredible catch in practice yesterday on a seam route, and Joe Milton threw it over the top, and Joe Milton's had some problems with that over the top down the middle of the field. But this one, he threw it high enough where Spanford was able to extend and go get it and come down with it, and it was a touchdown. It was what ended practice. But he's been really, really good. And then, but the thing with Schoonmaker looks like he's got a little bit more agility to his game.
They said that about Ferguson too. That he looks like he's got a little more wiggle this year than a year
these
ago.
Tight ends as a group, and there were some questions about who was going to be. There's no questions about who's going to be the first tight end, and they just showed you, the front office just showed you who they think the first tight end is by the extension of Ferguson, and well deserved on his part from what I've seen so far. The concussions were a problem last year. The knee was a problem. He looks healthy. He's moving around well. But yeah, this tight end group as a whole, and then people are going, well, hey, Broaddus, what about our guy, what about John Stevens? What about Princeton Fan? What about, Fairweather and these guys, other guys? It's the top three tight ends. This is an uphill climb because I think if they go three tight ends and then I think Hunter Lipke could be the fourth. because they use him as a fullback. They use him as an inline Y, which means he's right next to the tackle, and they use him as a move guy as well. So I think that the other guys that I mentioned, like the Fairweathers, the Stevens, we'll see with Fant. These guys are kind of fighting an uphill battle right now because the top 3 guys have been pretty good during camp.
Broadus, what do you think about Ferguson and his new money as far as how it looks on the salary cap? This makes Ferguson tight end 7 as far as total guaranteed money behind guys like Kyle Pitts, Kittle, Cole Kmet, Mark Andrews, T.J. Hawkinson, and Trey McBride.
Yeah, that's the Cowboys do a really good job when it means if you're not the top paid guy, they can get some deals done. They are
right.
They are seriously good at doing this when it's like, listen, okay, you want to be the 6th highest paid guy, like
Done.
Diggs or Oso Digizua, people like that, Terrence Steele. Yeah, when you're willing to work with the Cowboys, they will find a way to get deals done. It's when it turns into, wait a minute, we're about to have the highest paid guy, you're about to reset the market. That's when it becomes a little bit more of a challenge for them to have to do these things.
We talked about the tight end room real quick.
Yeah.
Londell Wells. He was one of the
holdover coach.
Well, and that was where you took the words right out of my mouth.
I usually do that, Fred.
No, look, nobody interrupts better than
nobody
Brian
interrupts
Broaddus.
better than me.
And look, we've got 3 hours of doing it, so get ready for it.
Yeah.
What is it about Londell Wells that Shoddy wanted to keep? And I guess, was it that familiarity from the last 3 or 4 years as to the reason why they decided to keep him on board?
What people don't know about Londell Wells is that he, on other teams around the league or in college football, he might be your offensive line coach. He's got that. Oh yeah, he's got a background where he coached the offensive line, and so you have that knowledge. So in actuality, you really have 3 offensive line coaches on this.
Boy, you sure do, huh?
Yeah. So you got with Adams, Riley, and then Londell Wells. Londell Wells could very well, somebody could hire him as an offensive line coach. He's that much respected around the league for that kind of knowledge.
When you look at, and again, part of it is that this team, just pure experience level, all right? I mean, and again, you look at from last year, like you said, Fergie being beat up last year, Spanford's going into year 3, year 4. What does that speak to that these guys?
Well, I think Spanford's year 2.
Year 2, okay. So what does that speak to, though, that you've got experience notwithstanding, and maybe that is the ultimate factor in all this, but what else do you contribute to why this group, whether we're talking about the tight ends, and that's a group that, like you've mentioned, has really stood out, and we've heard that, again, you've got Mingo looking better. You've got Jalen Tolbert, who looks like he's a little more locked in this year. How much of that is just experience, his coaching staff, contract years, or maybe all of the above?
I'll tell you what, though, it's a really good question because I was thinking when you were asking it, I was thinking about where Damone Clark is at linebacker.
Okay,
and I bring him into the picture because I'm watching him play now and practice, and he looks like a completely different player. And I just he really lacked instincts, he lacked awareness. But with Matt Eberflus coaching him, he really has looked like a different player, and I to the point where he was a crossroads player. I mean, I had him, Schoonmaker, Mozzie Smith. These are crossroad players. They're either going to take the right path or they're going to take the wrong one, and then we'll never hear from them again. And Damone Clark was kind of that guy for me that I was like going, man. Here's this big, talented body, but he can't put things together. But lo and behold, here we are, off-season OTAs, working with Matt Eberflus at the linebacker spot. Looks like a different player. So we'll see if that carries over. Today's first day of pads. I think you'll see a lot of these linebackers show up. We haven't talked a lot about Jack Sanborn and some of the others, but when you put on the pads, that's when the linebackers tend to show up a little bit more.
Broaddus, and since you're joining us from one, this is more just open discussion, not really asking you a question, just kind of thinking out loud. This whole Ferguson thing still got my mind racing a little bit because he's coming off a down year where he did not play well. we're sitting here in this segment kind of talking about how great the tight end room is in general, and we've seen this before.
Playing better. That's what I'm saying. Not great, but it's very noticeable that the group is not a detriment in at least the first week of practice.
Because we've seen this before with when they had Dalton Schultz, and a lot of people were like feeling pretty good about him. His last year wasn't too great, but it wasn't anything to smite at. And then they said, hey, we're going to let him go to the Texans. Ferguson steps up, and we forget about Dalton Schultz was ever here. And I'm not saying I saw that same thing happening, because I think Ferguson still is the best tight end on the team. I know he's going into the final year of his contract. I just didn't expect out of all the guys in the final year of the contract for the Cowboys to go, hey, we saw enough from you, Ferguson, to give you $30 million guaranteed. A little surprising by me, considering how you do like Scooney. You have replaced the tight end position before, and you got Span forward, and you've been pretty good at drafting tight ends.
Yeah, that's the thing that's but it goes back to it, Blake. I mean, when you start to the handicap, of the guys that were potential free agents, I think that Jake Ferguson was way down the list, and I don't mean that in disrespect. We were obviously talking about Micah, we're obviously talking about Bland, that kind of thing. Tyler, I mean, Jake Ferguson, but I'll repeat myself again that to me, this is where if you work with Stephen Jones doing these contracts, if you don't have to be that guy, but if we can, this is what we can do, but we can bump it up a little bit.
Do you think they'll
more.
regret this, Broadus?
I don't think so. Because to me, when healthy, this guy is, I mean, you look at run after catch, you look at toughness, he's more than a willing blocker. I don't think they're going to, Dak Prescott enjoys throwing the football his way because he does find ways to separate. He does find ways to gain yards, run after catch. I mentioned how tough he is. I don't think they're going to regret this one at all.
Well, look, he's and you think about it, with Pickens on one side, CD on the other, and we had Ben Troop on a couple weeks ago, and he said, look, if anybody is going to benefit from having those two guys on this football team this year in the offense, it's going to be a Jake Ferguson, because you're not going to be able to double team him. He said the one thing that you love as a tight end is man-on-man coverage, and again, coming off of the last year where, as we alluded to, he was beat to all get out. This is a year where, and I think to your point, if he does go out and ball and have the kind of season that I think the Cowboys are banking on him having, this thing may look like a bargain when it's all said and done if he goes out and balls the way we think he could.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And, the thing that I've noticed through the 4 practices that we've had, the Cowboys are really and this is the way Schottenheimer's been calling plays. They're big play action. Now it's big play action from under center, and now it's big play action off the the shotgun stuff. And so there's boots and waggles, the movement where you send the defense one way and then you throw the tight ends back the other. That's where some of these, that's where you've really kind of noticed Ferguson and Spanford and Schoonmaker is, when you get that full flow going one way and now they sneak them out the other way, and then they're open and they get into the open field to make the reception. So, if tight ends are going to be a big part of it, whether it's 12 personnel stuff, the 2 tight ends, in the running game, or the 2 tight ends when they throw the football off the play action stuff. So this might be a good deal when it's all said and done.
Injury withstanding, what does Jake Ferguson have to do in Brian Broaddus' eyes to, I don't want to say take that lead, but kind of get back to that 2023 version of himself where he's Pro Bowler and consistly, a top
it's health,
10.
Man. It's health.
Yeah, right.
It's complete health with him, because when he suffered the knee injury, he was trying to play through that and he just couldn't. It was really, really difficult for him to try and get to overcome that. And then the concussion stuff didn't really help either. I mean, that took him out of his game as well, because his game is kind of that rough and tumble, run over you, jump over you, spin around, get hit. That's the kind of the game he plays. So with Ferguson, it's all health. It's always going to be health. Assuming
Ferguson's obviously going to be nice and healthy for the season, do you think Schottenheimer and that offense is going to use him differently than what we saw him? In what capacity?
No. But like I said, the boots, the waggles, they're running the stuff with they got the crossing stuff that they do with these guys. They try and hide them. They're trying to hide him on the edge. They hide him as wings. There's a lot of different things that they could do. Red zone stuff. We haven't really seen red zone tight end stuff since Jason Witten was here.
Yeah.
But that they need to try and get more involved that way. But yeah, I think it's going to be more the misdirections, the play actions, the seam routes. Dak loves to throw the seam, the tight end, that tight end release, and then try and run him through like a cover 2 with the 2 safety split. They like to try and run him through that. So that's where you're going to see him have some success.
All right, boys. Practice gets real today. Yes, look, we've seen 5 stellar practices so far, and everybody's excited. But guess what? We're going to separate the men from the boys today. Brian Broaddus is in Oxnard. The first padded practice of training camp goes down this afternoon. We're going to ask Broaddus, what is outside of the physicality of it, but what are some of the positions? You mentioned linebacker already, but what are some of the other groups that we're going to be looking at now that the pads are coming on and there's actually going to be real hitting going on? Brian Broaddus, live from Oxnard, talking to him. I'm Fred, that's Blake. Khaki Kev behind the glass on the 1, 2s, and 3s. A little fan after dark on a Sunday.
Our goal.
Uber Eats has low fee products. You gotta remember that.
They say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before. Well, of course you have. So Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean like your name. No, I'm Jen. Your name's Jen. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut. But that's hair on your head. I'm not saying this is your hair. Okay, great.
Do you think it's true that you've got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries?
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be what was it, Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil Babes.
Saffron Squad?
Nutmeg Megan?
Paprika?
No.
Nutmeg Maiden?
I just said that. Was it Spice Girls?
Doesn't sound right.
Was it Saffron Squad?
One 7-333-3333 with Frankel and Frankel. There is never an out-of-pocket cost. They only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel, the go-to for car and trick wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Appreciate that, Khaki Kevin. Just a quick programming update. We've got Broadus on with us until 1. And then, of course, Jared Sandler is going to join us at 11 o'clock. So we're hoping to make history today. I think if we really try, I think we can get Brian to ask a 2-minute long question.
Oh, you really don't want that.
No, I do. I absolutely want it.
You really don't?
No, we want it. We want
having Brian, Jared's going to be having PTSD. He's got Fred and Brian asking questions.
Look, we could tag team like a 3-minute question. I may start it and then just hand it off to Broadus.
Well, what he was saying.
just like in mid-sentence, just like, the bats have really kind of come alive, and then I pick it up like, because I feel like the hitting coach is...
Jared's never
Broadus, you and I were talking yesterday about this, and this thing's really turned around, wouldn't you say? And then, boom, he carries it on.
Jared's never going to be so happy to hear me ask a question. Like, a short-winded question.
A lot of huhs and vibes.
I'll tell you what, I will say this about Jared. He really does a great job because he is on everybody's show.
He is.
I mean, he is like literally... I've never heard him say no to anybody. I mean, and I know it's his job and all that.
Not like Carter Freeman, anyway. Is Carter there this morning, or where's he at? Or
another library?
No, I was. Carter is not here this morning.
Okay.
But he did hook up the Zoom for us, and he should be here in a little bit. But yeah, I've learned how to do a few things around the tent, to kind of make sure that we're on air.
I bet. Look at that. Add that to your job description. I'll tell you what. Next time contract time comes around, add that to it. All right. So today the pads come on for real. Before we get into this, and maybe you can share us a name or two. Maybe you can't. I'll let you decide that.
Yeah.
Who's a player in your past back in the day that was just a absolute beast in shorts and a helmet, and then when the pads came on, you were like, oh
wow, that's a great question because I've never really thought about it that way. I don't have a great answer. I'd have to.
Okay.
You caught me at a time when I would really, because this is going back to like 1992.
And we're picking the brain here.
And I've never had anybody ask me that question. Who has always looked good. See, the thing about the pads, and it's funny because I was talking with Voch Lombardi this morning. I asked him this question. I said, who is the player we haven't seen during these practices that's going to show up today?
So
I kind of flipped it around. And
is Javonte Williams in that category?
I think, to me, this is where you start to see maybe some offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some tackles or guards.
By the way, who's playing right tackle with Steele being out?
Oh, that's been Adeniji is who that's been.
Oh, you mean Rock Chalk Jayhawk Go KU, my boy Akeem Adeniji? Yes, sir.
Is it Adeniji?
Yeah, Adeniji, tomato.
Bajan.
Yeah. But anyway, he has been playing, and it's.
How's he look?
He's been actually pretty good.
Yeah,
he's been pretty good.
I mean, come on, how much can we
look like Tarzan, play like Jane?
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny because he's going up against the Ezrakus. He's going up against Sam Williams. He's going up against the Fowlers. I mean, it hasn't been one of those things where you're like, oh my gosh, you got to welcome Matt over there playing tackle at right tackle. But he's actually. I was surprised because we kind of felt like, there's always like, well, he's going to be the swing tackle. It's always June radio.
He had a rough go of it in Cincinnati. I mean, let's be real.
I'll tell you what.
Joe Burrow ain't sending him any Christmas cards anytime soon.
No, but I and maybe when the pads come on today, there'll be more of that, more some problems. But as far as him blocking guys, it hasn't been one of those things where you're noticing him just getting run around. And so I was encouraged by, because I thought they were going to take, when I got to watch practice, the last minicamp practice before we went on break, it was Thomas was the start. Nate Thomas was the backup right tackle, and then when Steele went down that first practice, well, here's our Kansas guy stepping in, and I think they're going to play. Like they're going to have tackles like a left tackle and a right tackle. I don't think they're having right now. It doesn't look like they're thinking about any swing guys. Like I haven't seen Adeniji go play left tackle. I haven't seen him play that. I've seen him only play right tackle, and I've seen Nate Thomas play left tackle, and I haven't seen him play the right. So right now, I mean, now we get into the preseason and those games, and they're trying to manage reps. Maybe we'll see some moving around, but through these practices right now, they haven't. It's been just right and left.
And look, you worked with Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells, to me, is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Mm-hmm. He's on my bucket list of guys I want to interview, and I got to hurry up because we're running out of time here. But that said, the old adage that he said, look, if that light doesn't come on in year 3, then that's it.
Yeah.
Adeniji is going into year 6. Two-part question. One, do you subscribe to the whole, if you ain't figured it out in year 3, then so be it? And have you seen guys that have actually gotten better, maybe after a stop, or maybe with different coaching or with a different regime, and maybe, again, we don't know yet because the pads will come on today, so maybe Akeem will go back to being Cincinnati Akeem, but have you seen guys that maybe after a stop or two change the kind of the trajectory of their career, or were better players than what you expected?
Yeah, sometimes coaching does matter.
Yeah.
And I do subscribe to the theory of Parcells got that from Tom Landry.
Okay.
Tom Landry told him that, hey, listen, if a guy hasn't picked it up by year 3, then you probably need to move on from that player. And Bill really believed that. And that was something that he did carry over from Coach Landry to when we all worked together. But yeah, sometimes coaching does matter. And I mentioned Damone Clark earlier, and I go back and I think about, and I can't remember the coach's name, but I'm sure somebody will. Maybe Blake will look it up for me.
Okay.
But the linebacker coach last year for the Cowboys used to be like the running back coach. It was one of those situations where all of a sudden you get a coach on the staff that goes from one position to another because he's buddies with the coach.
Scott McCurley?
Scott McCurley.
Old Scotty.
Scott McCurley went from coaching linebackers. I flip it around. But Scott McCurley goes from coaching linebackers to coaching running backs.
Huh.
And then you're like going, whoa, what are we doing here? Now there's coaches that have the ability, maybe early in their career, they started out on the defensive side of the ball and then they end up on the offensive side of the ball. But then there's also that time where like Mike McCarthy, in loyalty to Scott McCurley had some off-the-field issues that he worked through.
Okay.
And then he didn't want to do the 5 that we did yesterday. What I need to be better at. His number 1 would have been something, yeah.
Yeah.
So Scott had those things.
He was more of the fair foul topic, maybe?
Exactly, yeah, more of that.
Oh.
So, so he's working through those things. And then all of a sudden, loyalty, Mike McCarthy loyalty. He doesn't want to part with the guy. So now he's like,
so
okay,
let's let my running back room suffer as a result.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes these coaches, they mess you up. They mess you up because they don't have the ability to be able to handle the position. And I think
friendship league.
Yeah, if you're telling me that linebackers are now being coached by the guy who really can coach linebackers, that Matt Eberflus has done a great job with linebackers throughout his
he was
career.
a linebackers coach back in the hell. My cousin played for him at Mizzou back in the early 2000s under Gary Pinkel.
No question. See that, and it makes a difference. And we'll see. But like with Guyton, it's already made a difference. And working with Duke and those guys in the offseason, I think has helped. But he also coaching does come into play here. How this guy responds to you. And the whole thing with Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele working with Joe Philbin was a solid player, good player.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Joe Philbin gets let go, and then Mike Solari comes in, and then now he's not the same player. So we'll see. It looks like to me with these offensive line coaches they have that they've had at least a positive start for how they're getting going things.
What are you looking at, Fred? What are you looking at?
You look like a hurricane victim right now. You look like your house just burned down. You're sitting on the side of a fire truck, and we're waiting for the Red Cross truck to show up and provide
FEMA.
you with a warm meal.
FEMA would be there, not Red Cross.
Does he need one of those silver those blankets?
That's what I'm saying. He's got a blanket. He's got a blanket. He's all cuddled up over here.
My question is
it cold in that room?
No,
actually?
it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
Heck, no, it's never cold in that room.
It's cold to me.
Never.
My question's simple. It was sent in by the 972. They're curious, and so am I. How was Kalen Carson looked? Because all we've seen is CeeDee Lamb dropping him on the highlight tape.
Yeah, and be careful of this when you see the clips, and John Machota and Nick Harris and those guys do a tremendous job. If you could film the whole practice, you might get one bad clip and three really good clips. Yep. You just never know. Or you might get one really good clip and three bad ones. Yep. You just got to be careful of that whole thing. But, to try and give it a little context. But the thing with Carson is there's been times where he has been very, very good in coverage. And there's times where you could tell that he's still a little bit nervous about people running on him. And I mean running in a way. I've seen guys like Tolbert, who Tolbert didn't run away. I mean, Elam made a hell of an interception, the Simba interception. Yep. Mm-hmm. He was able, Tolbert couldn't get away from him. But the thing with Carson is I've seen Tolbert run at him.
Opening the hips too early.
And then stop him, and then like all of a sudden just stop and come back to the ball. And so now you get a guy that feels like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to try and run by me. He's so conscious of getting.
So not a lot of confidence from Carson out there.
More confidence than he had last year, because last year, I mean, he had injury and then it really was a struggle. But he's been more competitive this year, and so to me, it's still kind of one of those things like. You just need him to make 2, 3, 4 plays and kind of get on a roll, because there's one practice where he'll make 2 really good plays, and then others where they'll run him off or somebody will catch a ball on a slant on him. Those are the kinds of things. So it's kind of been a little bit of some good and some bad with this guy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like with all the injuries right now, he should be in the nickel, in the slot. You got Kamon Hall, who's an undrafted guy.
Hall is the guy. Hall's the guy. Hall is playing. Hall is the starter, and McQuamu is the backup at that spot right now.
So where's Carson right now on the Brian Broaddus depth chart?
Well, he's actually on my depth chart. He's not playing any inside. So everything has been on the outside. Yeah, he's having now. See, Bland has been out because of the birth of the child. I don't know when he's coming back on that. I mean, it seems like he's missed like 3 days of practice on that. So he should be back hopefully. But yeah, what you're getting Booth has been the guy that has been playing at right corner, and then Carson has been backing him up. So they've got kind of a mix of guys. We knew going in this was going to be kind of difficult, that they were going to have to mix and match. The guy that's been the absolute most consistent player has been, and again, Bland's not here. I said that. Then again, what's my phrase? Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That that Bland is, he hasn't been here. The guy that's been the most consistent player, the best player, has been Elam. Has been that guy. So everybody else is trying to kind of fit in. I'll tell you, a kid named Troy Pride, number 32. He'll probably get a lot of work during these. During the preseason stuff. He's shown up in a couple of different ways playing the football. So kind of a group that's still trying to find their way a little bit.
Well, and real quick, we've got about a minute before we got to go to break. But look, and this is why you get paid the big bucks. This is why you scouted for all those years. Isn't that the reason? But when you look at a Kaiir Elam, and again, and that's a weird situation that he had in Buffalo, because you talked about coaching, and that's a situation where you would think he got good coaching, but who knows? Things happen. But that said, isn't that the reason why Kaiir Elam was a first-round pick and Kalen Carson was a fifth-round pick when you look at what's going on in years 2, 3, et cetera?
Well, in Buffalo, Elam was selected by a general manager that really wanted him and liked him, and then he played for a head coach that was not interested in using him. That happened. That happens. Sometimes
that happens a lot, doesn't it?
It happens a lot. And the scouting staff says, "Listen, and some coaches are really good. Like, listen, you bring whoever you want, and I'll coach them up.
We'll make it work."
And then you got some coaches that sometimes get some power, and they're like, "Listen, I don't want this kid," and you don't want to bring players in. But Brandon Beane, really wanted Elam. He thought, he was down there, and where they selected him in the draft. It's kind of like taking, probably had a second-round grade on him, and they're like, this is a guy that we feel like can play. And I mean, he's shown out here that he does have some skill.
Right.
In Florida, he had skill in Florida. He could really run. He was physical. He wasn't afraid to tackle, and I could see why Brandon Beane drafted him. But the coaching staff there just said, nah, we really don't want to coach this kid, and then Beane had to move on from him. So
we don't want to move on from Brian Broaddus. We want to keep chatting with him. This is
thank you.
He just cut you off.
Broaddus,
I know. We got to go on break on Sunday.
This is enough about Kaiir Elam. We've heard
Broaddus Cowboys out right here, and it'll continue here on the Fan After Weekends. We're going to talk to Broaddus.
We're going to do fair or foul next.
Just saying, continuing talking to Broaddus.
Well, I mean, I was going to let Brian finish his thought. I mean, it's not like we've never ended at 10:40 before. I didn't realize I had Gavin Spittle and Tim Collins producing the show today. But anyway, we're going to do Fair Foul next.
With Brian Broaddus. That's what I'm saying.
Are aliens already on the planet? And by the way, are aliens down in Oxnard? Are they? We'll discuss next. Don't go anywhere.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who...
forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before. Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean like your name. No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut.
But that's hair on your head.
I'm not saying this is your hair.
Okay, freaking me out a little bit.
It's the Fan After Dark. This segment is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. Back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They've got more new Chevys than anyone, and they're all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibus, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference. Based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
You know what that music means, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for a little fair foul. I will fix the intro. We'll have it for this week. Stand by. Now that I know that you can do the time stretch, I was not aware of the time stretch, and so as a result, we will do that this week. We debuted it yesterday, and for all intents and purposes, people liked it, right?
They did. Are we not doing it today?
No, because I forgot to tell Kevin.
Okay.
And I think Jake just kind of threw it together since it was kind of a last-second deal. So we'll have it. We will have fair foul. Now, granted, we've only got 1 hour shows this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll be on K&C Thursday and Friday. I don't know what the hell you two are doing. So anyway.
It's fill it in there and there.
You know, a little bit here and there. All right. So, look, we're not Oxnard. I can tell you that much. All right. That much I do know. Shout out to our boy Brian Broaddus. All right. It's time for fair foul. I don't know how Brian feels about aliens, but we're about to find out. Aliens already among us? Harvard scientists say maybe. A paper by Harvard's Human Flourishing Program, that sounds like it's made up, explores a wild but serious idea. Some UFOs might be explained by life forms already living here on Earth. Researchers Tim Lomas and Brandon Case, joined by anthropologist Michael Masters, suggest crypto-terrestrials, their term not mine, could be advanced beings hiding underground underwater, or even walking among us. They point to military sightings of crafts that defy physics, urging scientists to stop brushing these cases off. No one's saying it's true, but they're asking, what if we've been looking the wrong direction all along? Fair, foul. Aliens may already live on Earth, according to Harvard researchers.
Fair, I work with 2 of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you looking at me?
Do you care to elaborate? Or?
What are you doing there?
Are you looking at me?
Who's an alien at this station?
I've been told I'm quite alien-like.
Bobby Belt's an alien.
He could be. I believe that.
I would
Bobby Belt he's a cyborg, I think. I really do.
Bobby Belt's a good shout. Maybe Alec Medford. He's very alien.
By the way, shout out to Alec Medford, who sent us the Ian Rappaport, Jake Ferguson news earlier. Toloing nonstop.
Someone said fair. Victor Wembanyama is an alien.
That's well, he did have that blood clot.
Very alien-like.
That's very aliens don't have blood
Throwing
clots.
us off the scent.
See,
You think?
see, Broadus is thinking you have a quote unquote blood clot. Then where was he? He was a monk this whole summer.
I don't buy it.
That's what the aliens want.
Michael Jordan's an alien. If anybody's an alien, it's Michael Jordan.
For sure, with the gambling addiction and
that's right.
And yellow
eyes. And still dropping 50, 60 points a game, so I don't want to hear it.
Who's dropping 50, 60 points his whole career? Don't get us into it. Don't get us into
this, guys. Come on, let's not do this.
I know
get us into an MJ conversation.
Yeah. Well, my aliens don't need PEDs.
Was that your mic drop right there? He's never been caught.
Okay, great.
Maybe your guy should have took PED so he could have played a little bit longer.
Then he could have won.
Maybe
then he could have won 8 titles.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I guess what if?
Fair or foul?
Guess what?
Fair
What
foul.
if?
Fair or foul?
Foul. You. Aliens are real.
We do agree on that. Kevin, fair or foul? Aliens are here.
Fair that they're here. Probably foul that we're just disregarding it.
I don't think we as Americans, we as humans care as much that aliens are here because I think we're all aware of it. I think if you'd had this breaking news 12, 15 years ago, everyone would have stopped driving their car and said, what do you mean aliens are here? I think all of us have social media. All of us are a little bit more media literate. And I think we know that aliens and extraterrestrial beings are here on planet Earth.
Can they lower inflation?
Just easier to... that's a good question.
It's easier to swallow, man. If they want to produce oil and make it easier for all of us, cool. I love tariffs. I don't think we care anymore. I'm not saying like in a bad way. I'm saying I just don't think we're as surprised.
As long as they don't take over the sports radio world, I'm good.
What job would they take? Aliens. Where it wouldn't be that
whatever
weird.
job they want to.
But I'm saying, what would you want if you're making the decision? You're the government. The aliens said we do want to work. We want to be part of the American people.
I got a question.
Let's figure out energy. Give me some of that energy that you guys used to get here.
Technology.
That's what I need.
Yeah. Then we can pass China.
Yeah.
China.
Well, who are you more scared of taking our jobs, aliens or AI?
AI.
Aliens. I feel like I can turn AI off. Aliens, I have zero control over.
Isn't aliens pretty much AI, but in like a moving
human form? Yeah, I mean, but you have no control over. Like AI,
I agree.
like,
I'm saying
I can
aliens
stop.
should be.
Like, I don't have to go to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Right. If an alien shows up here and decides to eat our heads off, I'm powerless over that.
A lot of
We
movies.
just need to locate that Sarah Connor is who we need to when that thing starts.
Yeah,
Sarah
we do.
Connor. She's
we need to make sure she's okay. Well, I mean,
we got to get her to the next window, right?
Shout out to.
Would you impregnate Sarah Connor, Brian Broaddus?
If it meant saving the world, sure. Why not?
What a foul question by Fred.
Fair.
Saving the world.
Take one for the team.
Saving the world. We have to do.
Let me ask you this: would you insist that his name be John Broaddus instead of John Connor?
No, John. We need John Connor. John Broaddus is not going to save anybody.
Well, what a great lob by my teammate. You brought up Chat GPT. This goes into my fair foul right here.
Of course it does.
Globe Eye News came out with this today. 22 million views, so nothing to
they've got
scoff
a couple Pulitzer Prizes.
Views doesn't mean anything.
Nothing
you
to
can get
scoff
views
at.
on the
Globe
Parody
Eye
account.
News.
They don't have a guy named Masters on this board, do they?
Peanut galleries in the background. Hush while I'm reading my fair foul. Thank you, all three of you guys.
Where Walter Cronkite started was Globe Eye News.
This will be interested.
Chat GPT CEO Sam Altman. We've heard of him a couple times.
Sam.
Yes.
Go
Now,
get him, Sam.
This is most bad for Blake. Sam Altman says people share personal info with Chat GPT all the time. But here's the bad news. But he said they are not aware that chats can and will be used as court evidence in legal cases, so they can pull any chat for legal cases. Fair or foul, the ChatGPT is probing your information, and if used in a court case, can just hand it over, all your personal stuff you've shared with ChatGPT.
I'm sorry, but at this point, who's not sharing our information?
That's exactly right.
I'm not.
Oh,
That's not what I'm saying, Fred.
You're not a company. You're not an app.
What companies aren't sharing our information?
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Sam Altman, this idea that, I'm surprised. I mean, it's his way of playing coy is what he's doing.
This could be really bad, though. People,
we just talked about a kid that literally killed himself because he was trying to tell ChatGPT that he had a new theory on life, and the ChatGPT's like, yeah, you sure do. And then ChatGPT, after this kid nearly kills himself, is like, yeah, I probably should have stopped.
Yeah. I personally have never said anything incriminating to ChatGPT. I probably said some embarrassing things.
You literally gave your entire dating history to ChatGPT.
That's why I said, but that's not incriminating. I said embarrassing. I have.
Yeah.
I have shared embarrassing things there, but I've never shared anything incriminating because people in the comments are like, what if you sent where to hide a body, and next thing you know, it's getting used against you in a court case.
Yeah.
But I guess you'd have to do something already bad, and then they're like, let's go look through his history. And then they pull your ChatGPT.
I mean, I was going to say, all they got to do, here's the thing. All they got to do is subpoena your phone and phone records anyway. I mean, how do you think they get Google searches?
Yep. But I feel like ChatGPT.
Nothing new.
I didn't say it's new, but I think Google is like, where to hide a body, where to get duct tape and stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff that you see in the movies, TV shows. ChatGPT, I feel like people a little more detailed maybe didn't think that this would be available, and they're asking like, what's the best way to dissect a body in the river next, whatever.
What didn't, you know what? Screw Sam Altman. Don't pretend. Don't build this insane, futuristic model and then act surprised when, we didn't think people were going to. Of course, people were going to do this. This is what this is society now. Like this is what people do. Like you got people that you got people that only date online. You got people that are dating. Remember that movie Her, where Joaquin Phoenix was like in love with his computer. No. Okay, like that was a precursor of what people are doing now.
Black Mirror, which I'm still mad you haven't watched. You would love it.
Yeah, I've got the Billy. You know what? Let me watch Billy Joel. Okay, an actual real human being. Okay.
What?
I think you heard me just fine.
What does Billy Joel to do with Black Mirror?
Because you know what? Unless Black Mirror put out one of the greatest albums of all time, I ain't got time for it.
That was such an old head take. I'm just talking about a TV show.
I don't have time for it.
You don't have time for a TV show all of a sudden?
No, not unless it's Billy Joel.
So you only watch Billy Joel TV?
I'm done now.
Tell him, Fred.
Brian, the stuff that comes out of Fred.
Don't encourage him.
No.
I don't even understand what's going on.
I'll tell you what happens to me on my show. Anytime I bring up a movie, they bring up movie references all the time, and they know I don't watch movies, right?
Thank you, Brian. We got better things to do.
They bring up all these references, but then when I bring up one, they all look at me like, what are you talking about?
How dare they?
Eric has the weirdest looks in his eye when I bring up a movie. He's like, and then Wolchuk just ignores me. Hopefully Lucius will come and save me. Dawson, I don't know what he's doing over there, but yeah, I don't even try when it comes to movies and shows and stuff like that. I don't even try anymore because I know they're like they never saw this. They never saw this movie or they never saw this show.
Well, Fred,
there's been a lot of movies you haven't seen, Broadus.
A ton.
Too busy scouting.
That really, Blake, you make it. That you say that?
Yeah, I'm saying that you're too busy scouting. That you don't have time to be sitting there watching TV like some of our
I will say this.
Teammates have watched every movie possible.
This Netflix stuff, I will say I was really late on Breaking Bad. I was really late on Ozark.
Great show.
Season 4 jumps the shark. I'm sorry.
Season 1 and 2 the best.
I'll tell you what, man. I thought Ozark was incredible.
Yeah. You liked Season 4?
I like the whole darn thing.
Look, when Laura Linney's here, just real quick, when Laura Linney's over there telling drug kingpins what they're going to do, I'm out.
Pulling out shotguns.
I'm like, look, get out of here with this nonsense.
No, I'm just telling you though that show that at the end of it, I was exhausted. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Have you watched Better Call Saul yet?
I did.
Okay.
See, I was really late on all those. So I remember there were radio stations that were doing every day that were doing Breaking Bad segment talks, and I would listen to it. I'm like going, gosh, I guess I got to watch this show.
No,
and
Breaking
I didn't.
Bad.
I never did. I never did till the very end.
It's TV gold, if I do say so myself. All right, we're up against it.
Yeah. Once again,
that's the theme of the show.
That's what I'm saying.
Who's running this show?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to say something real quick?
No.
No.
I believe in. I think aliens, yes.
Aliens. Aliens among us? Aliens among us? We're talking to one right now. All right, coming up next, we've got a baseball alien going to join the show. Jared Sandler. Get your stopwatches out. How long might we ask a question of Rangers royalty? Jared Sandler joins us next to talk about the hottest team in baseball. Don't go anywhere.
Take us with you wherever you go. Now heard on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Twitch, the TuneIn app, our Odyssey app, and of course with the biggest mother of a radio signal in DFW. Thanks for making your favorite travel buddy 105.3 The Fan.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does...
105.3 The Fan.
Hour number 3 here on The Fan on the weekend. Blake Elliott, Fred Davis, and Brian Broaddus joining us all the way from Oxnard, California. First day of private practice will be happening today. We got Kevin Walker on the ones and twos, making it sound beautiful. And what if I told you guys not just one guest, but let's bring another guest sponsored by Blue Nail Roofing. Let's talk to our boy Jared Sandler. Let's bring him in on the program to talk all things Texas Rangers baseball. They've been one of, if not the hottest team in the month of July. It seems like they can do no wrong. They're doing it in multiple different ways. Jared, how elated and how are you feeling overall about the Texas Rangers? It's been a while since we've been able to chat with you.
Yeah, well, feeling good. It's fun to watch good baseball, and I think, every year, like if you asked me before the season, like what my one realistic ask would be, it's just to be able to play meaningful baseball after the trade deadline. And, obviously in May especially, and then early June, it's like, I think they could maybe turn things around, but there wasn't a super high level of confidence that they were definitely going to be in this spot. But they've definitely turned things around. And yeah, like you said, they've been one of the hottest teams in baseball, and I think they've shaved 6 games off the Astros in the last 20 days, and 4 of those days are the All-Star break, so no games were played. So really, in about 2 weeks of baseball, they've gone from 11 back to 5 back, and they're a half game back or a game back or whatever of a playoff spot in the wild card race, and getting to play meaningful baseball for an organization that, if you think about it, since 2016, since the end of the 2016 season, the only year in which the Rangers really have realistically, you could say, played meaningful baseball after the All-Star break was 2023. 2019, they kind of had a little bit of a mirage, but that ended pretty quickly after the All-Star break. Other than that, it just hasn't been a lot of meaningful baseball in August and September. And so it's exciting to get a chance to, hopefully participate in that here again this year.
Well, Jared, you've got Fred Davis and Brian Broaddus asking you questions today. So gear up. I'm going to go ahead and get mine because it might not come back around to me. So my question is, Evan Carter, I've been watching him, especially against lefties, and kind of seeing his progression. He's been the guy I've had my eyeballs on the last week and a half. And then obviously the 2 young pitchers with Leiter and Kamar. Just kind of what have you seen from those 3 guys?
Yeah. With Kamar, the thing that impressed me about Kamar yesterday was he wasn't great, right? It wasn't his best. But, he was able to bounce back after a really shaky first inning and give the team enough. It wasn't like he went deep into the game or anything, obviously, but even the ability to get 2 additional innings after that first inning, I think you look at it and think, oh gosh, is he going to get out of the first? Is he going to be able to get through 2? But just to be able to push as deep as he did, that helps bridge the gap. But there are going to be growing pains for both he and Leiter throughout the year. This is their first full season as major league pitchers for both of them. Both of them got cameos last year, but it wasn't anything like this. And so, I think no matter what, like, it's a weird thing you got to balance the fact that, every game matters. And this isn't a team that is just looking for the future. And so you take the growing pains a little bit differently, right? If this team stunk, then you just look at a rough start from Rocker or Leiter and say, hey, it's a part of it. But this team doesn't. They're fighting for a playoff spot. So these starts are important. So you kind of assess it with a little bit of a different scale. But I think when you take a step back from the team standpoint, these guys have taken great strides this year. Hopefully Jack can pitch well tonight or today and wrap up what's been an awesome homestand no matter what. But it certainly would be a nice little boon. And then for Jack, his next start and Kamar's as well will come in all likelihood against Seattle this upcoming weekend, which is going to be a big 4-game series, a place where the Rangers just haven't been able to win consistently over the last several years.
Jared Sandler joining us, talking all things Ranger baseball. For whatever reason, June 7th keeps getting thrown out. It was a second game of a Washington Nationals series, but ever since that particular day, this team has been the hottest as far as putting up runs in all of Major League Baseball. That said, let's call it what it is. The offensive, and I don't want to call it an explosion, but this team is doing what we all thought it was going to do at the start of the year. They just took a couple months to do it. Is there any kind of line of demarcation, or was this just a matter of eventually you guys just felt comfortable or confident that this team was going to start hitting?
Well, I think, Fred, and what makes the baseball season so unique. I mean, 162 games, we always talk about how we know how long it is, and we always say, hey, we know that they're going to be, great stretches, they're going to be rough stretches, but you just got to try and stay the course. But then once it all starts, it's really tough to set aside a really rough 2 weeks and think, oh, well, things can be better. But the thing is, with this lineup, it wasn't just 2 weeks, it was like 2 months. And it was 2 months from guys who have track records that suggest that this is just not who they are. Now, there was a decent amount of data. Baseball, if nothing else, I mean, they've got, a whole ton of numbers and stats to tell you this story or that story. And, they have a subset of statistics that pertain to kind of predictive results, right? It's called expected data, and it's based on, hey, if you keep hitting the ball with these characteristics or keep hitting it hard, X, Y, Z, whatever, you're either, you're going to have these types of results. And the Rangers were near the top of the lead in Major League Baseball in terms of bad luck. Now, it was tough to throw that stuff out there when they were mired in this offensive drought because no one wants to hear that. That just sounds like an excuse. But there was a lot of metric data out there that suggested, hey, things are going to turn. But then there was a lot of just eye test stuff like, hey, is Corey Seager really just going to be a 720 OPS guy all year? No. I don't know if Marcus Semien is going to be 2023 Marcus Semien, but he's also not a 500 OPS guy. Jock Peterson, who's back today, he's in the lineup. After a couple months, when he was struggling, the hope was, well, he's not going to be, the worst hitter in baseball, right? I mean, he was really struggling. And so getting him back, I think, will help. So I think some of it was, hey, they can't be this bad, but that's also not like a legitimate plan. The question, I think, really, the smart question of the time was, well, all right, maybe they're not this bad, but do we need to recalibrate how good we thought they were? And, they're scoring runs, and the last couple months they've performed like one of the best lineups in baseball, but they're doing it in a little bit of a different way than what I think people would have guessed because there's not as much slug. I think some people would have thought this is going to be the top slugging team or close to it in baseball, but they're starting to now do a little bit more of that. And I just think that in the playoffs, the ability to slug, like if you ask me the question, hey, you can either choose a team that's a high batting average, lower slug team or a lower batting average, higher slug team. In the playoffs, give me the higher slug team every single day because I think pitchers are skilled at suppressing hits. Even some of the best pitchers in the game don't really have a great ability to limit home runs. Some do if they're heavy sinker guys, but some of the best pitchers of my lifetime gave up a ton of home runs. And so in the playoffs, when you face way better pitching than you do in the regular season, because you no longer face the number 5 starter or the 4A reliever who's up just to give the team a few innings, if you have a much tougher time stringing together an inning with 3, 4, 5 hits. Sometimes you need that big blow. And so hopefully as this team starts to slug a little more, that will portend well in August and September and then hopefully in October.
Hey, Jared, is this luxury tax thing not going to allow them to make a move?
If they stick to it, here's the deal, right? Unlike other sports where there is, whether it's a soft or hard cap, the rules are the rules.
Right.
The reason the ownership group would like to stay below is not because they're cheap. The fact that they aren't cheap is the reason we're in this position. What's that?
Is it the drafting? Is it the player acquisition stuff that they need to be mindful of?
Yes. Yeah, so the third, exceeding for a third straight year, there are financial implications, and then there has the chance to be player acquisition implications. And I think they'd like to reset that so that, if they go over the luxury tax each of the next 2 seasons after this year, there aren't, nearly the same implications. But they can always be convinced otherwise, right? So it's not like hey, they absolutely have to. This is more, hey, we got to balance the short term and the long term strategically from a financial standpoint, and they feel like it might be best to stay below this year. But what if Chris Young and his team convince them and say, hey, no, we're missing this piece. It's going to put us over, but we really believe X, Y, and Z. And I'm not smart enough from a business standpoint. All right, so maybe you host 4 playoff games. Does that offset this or that? I don't know. But if they do stick with the plan of staying below the lowest luxury tax apron, then it will lead to some gymnastics, right? They might have to give up something at the major league level because it will save them some money to be able to add, right? It might be, I don't want to say one step back to take two steps forward, but, a lot of times when you make trades as a buyer, it's just a very linear and easy to understand improvement because you trade a prospect who's not contributing to your major league team to bring someone in who's going to make your major league team better. But there's a chance that you might lose someone from the major league team who contributes in some way, but the freedom or the flexibility you get by making that move allows you to upgrade a few other areas that on the whole, at least that would be the plan, makes the team better. So, I think Broadus, that could absolutely be a challenge, and there could be some gymnastics involved in trying to deal with that.
Let me ask you this, though. There's the argument that CY can make, and you brought it up earlier, you've really put a dent in Houston's lead. Is that item one that he goes to ownership with and says, listen, we can do this. We've done it. We've shown you what we can do. This is why you need to allow us to do this.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of different arguments you can make. And that's, I think that's one of them. And I know this sounds odd because I spend so much time with the idea that, hey, it's one game, one of 162. But I do think today's game's important. I do think the next couple of games against the Angels are important because, hey, these are human beings who are making these decisions. So if the Rangers go out and, put up a stinker today and maybe drop the first one against the Angels tomorrow and don't look good doing it, and maybe the Astros beat the Athletics today and the Nationals tomorrow, and maybe ownership's like, well, yeah, you know what, we're going to stick to the plan. But what if the Rangers complete a sweep today? And what if they, have a nice win tomorrow, 48 hours prior to the deadline? I think all those factors can play a role. And yeah, I absolutely think the fact that the Astros are injured, they're battered, they're sliding, and the Rangers are surging plays a part of the conversation too. I'm hopeful that, whatever the Rangers decide to do, they don't just have their sights set on the wild card. It's, let's go after this division, because to me, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning of the year. And I know it might take a circuitous route to get there, but I really believe at the end of 162, the two best teams of this division are the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers. And I'm not sure in what order, but I truly believe the Astros are the third best team. And the fact that, they have been as competitive as they've been is a huge credit to them and, their ability to just figure out ways to win. But if you look at their roster, you look at the injuries they're dealing with, it's just not that impressive of a team. And I think we're starting to see the effects of all the injuries that roster and that group's had to deal with.
Jared, we'll get you out of here with this one. I just want to get your thoughts on the roster moves with Jock being brought up, kind of what you're watching for with Jock Peterson being back with the squad, and obviously Michael Hellman being sent down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Michael back at some point. The Rangers obviously need to fortify their ability to hit lefties, and I don't know that Michael Hellman was necessarily the answer to that, but he certainly contributed to their ability to do so and then add speed and defense off the bench. He's not a bad bench player, but right now, while Jake Berger's out, they need Rowdy Tellez, and I think they're hoping that, they can get Rowdy going and, add some pop, but that's what they need out of Jock Peterson. Like when Rowdies are on the mound, whether Jock's coming off the bench or in a starting capacity, they need him to be a middle-of-the-order bat. They signed him to be that guy. He has been that guy over the last few years. He wasn't that guy the first couple months, but I think much like, Marcus Semien has turned things around and a number of guys on the team have seen an uptick offensively. I think Jock was due for that. He then gets hurt, and maybe that ends up being a good thing for him. I say good thing, but maybe he ends up using that to, his benefit to some degree, an opportunity, kind of like a forced reset. But, there's no sugarcoating it. They need this guy to be a middle-of-the-order bat, and they need him to produce in a big way, and hopefully he can do that starting tonight or today.
Well, shout out to Blue Nail Roofing who let us do this beautiful interview with Jared Sandler. We always love your insight. Before we get you out of here, home run pick for today?
I'm going Jock.
Jock back in the
first
saddle.
Day back?
Let's go second at bat.
No, but I'm saying you think first day back, my man's gonna hit one.
I made the pick, didn't I?
Boy, I'll tell you what. Real quick, we got to get you out of here with this. Blake and I have challenged all comers, and no one's taken us up on this yet, but your name continues to come up as far as
best all-around hoopers in DFW media. Who's your running mate?
Playing 2-on-2?
Yes, sir.
Well, I need a big. I mean, I don't really bring that. I'm trying to.
No, we get it.
Complement skill set.
We were thinking Bassick.
Yeah, but I mean, Bassick like in his adult prime or Bassick now?
We're talking right. Hey, look, I'm 44 years old, so
I don't think Bassick's back would allow him to do
that's
that
fair.
right now.
All right, we'll let that slide.
Tim McMahon can run a little bit, but he's getting a little bit older. I'm trying to think some bigs. I don't know. Let me
Tim Collins.
I need to
sleep on that. Marinate on it. 'Cause we're ready.
Tim Collins.
Okay, he's saying that in jest because
I don't know. Yeah. Does Tim qualify as a big? I don't know.
He's tall.
Are we even convinced he can play basketball?
I love Tim, but
I mean, now
that's a fair question.
Pound for pound, nobody does better TV and movie reviews than Tim Collins, but basketball wise, leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so confident about the basketball. Movie reviews great. If you need some pitching analysis, Tim's your guy.
There you go.
But I'll have to think about that.
All right.
Height-wise.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you coming and chatting with us. Y'all make sure y'all show some love to Jared. Go follow him on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, stay tuned here on 105.3.
Jonah Heim, that's my pick.
I'm going
I like it.
Evan Carter. He's gonna hit a dong today. Appreciate you, Jared. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the game, sir.
All right, fellas. Take care.
Yes, sir. There he goes. Jared Sandler always giving us
best in the biz
insight.
right there.
We're going to continue the best in the biz because Brian Broad is going to stay with us. His first edition of Khakis Kicks. We'll throw a little bit of Fan After Dark Twitter likes in there and have some fun and relax next on the Fan on the Weekends.
Our goal is to have you winning.
Eats has lower fee products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute one. That's like a little shag. I've never seen one before. Well, of course you have. It's the Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean, what's your name? No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut, but that's not your hair. I'm not saying this is your hair.
got to forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has groceries.
No, that's absurd. Hey, remember when you used to be what was it, Pepper Lady? Pepper Lady?
What was it? Cinnamon Sisters?
Major Babies. Not Maidens? No. You said that. Oh, Spice Girls.
Doesn't sound right.
Is that one short?
Out-of-pocket costs only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel, the go-to for car and truck work attorneys in Dallas.
Listen to the Fan on the weekends. Blake Elliott, Fred Davis, Brian Broaddus. If you're just joining us all the way out in Oxnard, California, keeping us updated on all things Dallas Cowboys. We just got done chatting with our boy Jared Sandler about the Texas Rangers, and we also got Khaki Kev on the ones and twos. And you'll be hearing from Khaki Kev in about 5 minutes. We'll be doing Khakis Kicks. I know you guys are waiting to let him know what's on your feet. So if you need to go grab some new shoes so that you sound, when the segment comes, you can flex your shoes, go ahead and do that now in 5 minutes. We're doing Khakis Kicks. Well, before that, I want to ask Broaddus, first of all, how'd you think that overall interview went? I think we did pretty well with people in 3 different locations doing a fantastic interview.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that Kevin gave me the, hey, you can ask the next question thing. So that always helps. You never know, because you never know because I can't see you guys on camera.
Of course.
So I can't see you guys. So that kind of, sometimes you can hold up, your hand and all that, or make a note of that kind of thing. But it worked out great. Really appreciate you guys including me on that.
We work a technically sound motion project over here. We are a movie film company when it comes to getting stuff done. We got Kevin Walker, best in the biz, ones and twos, making stuff happen behind the scenes. Stuff that the regular lay folk, when you're just hanging out on your couch texting how mad you are at the show, you don't realize the hard work that is gets done by Kevin Walker to get stuff like this done. Now, this was a segment that kind of something we've thrown together a couple times, and I thought, why not introduce our boy Brian Broaddus to it, where me and Fred just go on our X or Twitter, we look at our likes. It might be something that is not worth a full segment, but just fun little talking points to kind of get your thoughts on it. So one that I came across right here, the first one is going to be Dak Prescott. Brandon Laurie put this tweet out the other day. A reminder of how accurate Dak Prescott was in 2023.
We got to bust his chops, too. Is he Aura Farman? Brandon Laurie?
Why? What'd he do?
Okay.
You love that phrase, don't you, Fred?
I've just picked it up off of
It's fascinating how those kids balance on those boats.
Here's what cracks me up.
Yes, Brian.
He texted, wait, what was a tweet out yesterday? It's a picture of Dak and Joe Milton, and it says, our quarterback room is better than your quarterback room.
He knows how to get the impressions.
And I'm like, okay, bro, calm down.
Brandon Laurie's tweet reads as a 69.5% completion rate, which would rank number 1 in the NFL. 82.6 on-target throw percentage, which was tied for first in the NFL. 6 big-time throw percentage, which was tied first in the NFL. 2.2 turnover-worthy play percentage, which was tied for second in the NFL, and a 105.9 passer rating, which was second in the NFL in 2023. I think people do forget, Brian, how great Dak Prescott was here the last time we saw him fully healthy. Do you expect a 2023 year from Dakota Prescott?
I'll tell you what, though, there's some elements to this offense that I think are going to help him. And I think the elements, of course, of adding George Pickens helps. I think CeeDee Lamb is really coming into his own as one of the best receivers in the National Football League. Jake Ferguson looks healthy. We talked about that a bunch. They've added this offensive line group is going to be as good as the 3 inside guys. I think their ability to run the football is going to come with the 3 inside guys, the center and the 2 guards. I think that's what they're going to really have to lean on. When Dak, we look at him in his rookie year in 2016, and the success that he was able to have that year was because of a strong running game as well. But a lot of under center, a lot of play action, quality skill guys, upgraded offensive line, and I think a play caller that kind of understands how he wants to attack defenses, 2-man screens where it stretches and then allows a player to fill in on the stretch. So yeah, I mean, there's things that are so far, through 4 practices that I've seen that he's doing this play caller to try and help his quarterback. And if the quarterback can stay healthy and take advantage of all the things around him, I think he could be very successful.
Well, Broadus, you know what I love most about that quarterback? I love that Dak Prescott is a Jordan sponsor, and I think that's a perfect segue to Khakis Kicks.
The khackiest of the khaki, the one, the only, Mr. Khaki Kevin Walker.
All right, boys, what do we think? That was a pretty good segue, no? Pretty good segue, good radio segue.
I had lunch. I had lunch with these guys one time. The Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Is that the song we're playing? Is
that was the intro.
Yeah, I had lunch with those guys one time. Beastie Boys. Yeah. Go ahead, Kevin.
As much as we want to follow up on that, and we will, we definitely will. We don't want to hijack Kevin's segment because I promise you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I wanted to ask you that, but I promise you it'll be 11:36 before we get done. So
go ahead, Kevin.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. Khakis Kicks on 105.3 The Fan. If this is your first time listening, if this is you've listened a couple of times, 877-881-1053. Text in what you're wearing. We'll go around the room, and we'll go to Oxnard, ask Broadus what he's wearing in his first time participating in the Khakis Kicks segment. But I do want to know what you're wearing. We got Jordans, we've got work boots, we've got flip-flops. Some people are going out on the boat, maybe not in Dallas. It's a little gloomy over here, but I do want to know what you're wearing, what you got rocking today. We will ask about the very much anticipated release of the Undefeated Fours, if you got them, if you went for them. We'll talk about that. Now, Fred Blake, first off, let's go around the room. Fred, what are we rocking?
I'll give you one guess.
I already know it.
That's it.
Nike Freeze.
That's it.
I'll also give you one guess.
The Birkenstocks.
It's a Sunday morning, Now, you catch me this week, I might have on something a little bit different. But as far as the Sunday morning was concerned, I came here from the gym.
Sunday morning best, huh?
And let's go ahead and drop that name. There's no.
No, I love it. I think it's great.
There's no. There's no besmirching the shoes.
There's no besmirching at all. That's not besmirching.
They're just Birkenstocks, all right.
But they're not.
Actually, you're right. They're not. They're clogs. CLOGS. They're clogs. Boston clogs.
No, Boston Clogs is of the Birkenstock name.
Okay, but these are the clog variations.
It's like a restaurant, dude.
So if you want, if you want to call them flogs, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, I can do flogs. We'll compromise on.
You just have
flogs.
to call them fake any way you can.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not a besmirch.
Sounds
it's
like
just
Just letting everyone know they're fake.
It's okay. Anyway, Broadus, what do you got on feet today? Rocking in Oxnard.
You guessed it earlier. I heard you talk about. What do I always wear?
You always got the Hokas on.
Always got the Hokas on. Yeah, I've got them with red socks today, too, by the way. I want to stand out a little bit.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah. Why red?
I just like to throw different color socks. I try and match something on my shirt with my socks. So when I wear shorts. So I have a little red on my shirt today for our logo for the 105.3 The Fan.
Nice. There you go.
The red logo. So I tried to be a little bit red socks, red logo.
I do have a follow-up on the socks. Are we going ankle, crew, or knee-high?
They're the crew. I push them down. They're the Nike ones.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I go with Nike crew and I push them down over my ankles, so I get that kind of basketball look. Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, well, over here in the Pimp Cup, I've got the Mocha 1 Jordan 1 lows. I am on the search for the highs, but I do love the brown color. That is the hence of the name khaki. Rocking that with a brown shirt. So that's how we're color coordinating. Now, Fred Blake, I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all made fun of me because it sounded like I had a lisp when I said Dallas might be getting a Kith store. Kith, Kith. Well, it happened, and now it is open. 4600 on McKinney Avenue. You can go visit the brand new Kith store that is in Dallas. Now, if you're asking, Kevin, what the hell is a Kith store? Well, you can find all kinds of different merchandise. You can find all kinds of different clothes there. They're very popular for their tees. They do a lot of different collaborations with a lot of brands, a lot of different movies, all kinds of different things. They're always doing collaborations.
You missed the part they're most known for, man.
I was going to say, I had to catch my breath there for a second. You can go in there and you can get sweet treats. Now, I don't know however many places you can go into, get a sweet treat and look for clothes, but that is kind of what Kith specialty is. You can get all kinds of different sweet treats. You can get yogurts, ice creams, all of the above. It's got a whole bar section to it. So, if you ever want to go in there, check out the Kith store. I think it'd be worth the gander. There's not a whole lot out there. Actually, there's only 14 in the U.S. alone, so this is the first one that they're going to be putting in Texas. Kith, Ronnie Fee keeps doing it. Now, speaking of high popular brands, Louis Vuitton. Now,
wait, can I circle back real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Does this place discriminate against the fat guy?
No, I do not believe so because
I think this is kind of a specialty store, and I think the triple extra large dude has no chance in this place.
You know what? I think, and I'll do some research on this, but, in the sneaker community, in the community of, fashion or however you want to categorize that, you've got all kinds of different shapes and sizes. So I would imagine that they're welcoming to all.
Okay.
But I will do some research in that, and I will let you know.
Appreciate that.
But I do want to talk about this because I saw this report actually just this morning. Louis Vuitton, and I would be shocked if anybody knew this, they have a manufacturing plant in Texas. Does anybody want to guess where, real quick?
In Texas.
In Texas.
Louis V?
Louis V has a manufacturing plant in Texas.
Beaumont.
El Paso.
I'm going to go with
both good guesses, by the way.
Amarillo.
Keene, Texas. Louis Vuitton has a manufacturing store in Keene, Texas. Well, I tell you this, why? Because they're going to be bringing one to Dallas now. So it is going to be the second one in Texas. And then they're going to be, so they've got 3 in the U.S., 2 as of right now, going to be 3, 1 in Cali, and then of all the places, Keene, Texas, and now Dallas, Texas. So Louis Vuitton is going to be bringing it here. Now, if you're wondering, well, what happens at a manufacturing plant? That's where you're going to get your bags, you're going to get your purses, your handbags, all the things that Louis Vuitton is most known for. Now, I don't want to neglect of course, your wallet's very popular. I don't want to neglect the Tolos because they did blow it up. So let's go in here. Let's see. We've got the, orange and blue Bo Jacksons from the 214, Dornbeckers Air Max 180s from the 817. We've got some flip-flops, another one from the 817, moccasins from the 214. We got Coach shoes 601. We're going sockless from the 214. So, that's definitely a choice there. And then some people are saying that the Kith store is going to be high as far as prices. And yeah, it is. It's a little bit of a luxury store for sure.
Yeah.
But, it still could be worth taking a gander, right? It's not $100 to get some ice cream. So I'm sure you can get some ice cream, look around, see what happens. And then I did want to talk about this because something that a lot of people have been waiting on is the release of this Jordan 4 of this year. It's an undefeated Jordan 4 collab. Now, if you don't know the back history of this, it's a really, really popular shoe. They released it a couple of years ago, and it was in limited quantity, so it went for a lot of money. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, they re-released it this year in a general release, so many more produced, many more available, and people have been all over it. Well, it released this morning, and I wanted to gauge from the Tolos, those that care about the Jordan brand and the sneakers out there. I wanted to know if they went for them, if they had any interest in them, and if they didn't go for them, hey, is it more expensive than you wanted it to be? What was your temperature gauging on that? And then I wanted to throw in a bold take just before we get out of here. Fred, you have been hating on the Jaw 3s. Not a big fan of the colorways or the
I wasn't a fan of the colorway, of the first 2 colorways. However, when you sent me that last one that was kind of the black and the gray, I did like those.
I have a hot take.
I did like those.
I think the Jaw 3s will be the Anthony Edwards of next year.
I like that take.
I think they're going to be the most popular and the most surprising sneaker on the market next year. That's Khakis Kicks.
That is
Appreciate it, y'all.
Hot take by Khaki Kev. We'll see if it portrays true. Send in what you're wearing, 877-881-1053. Because you're going to want to stay tuned for this next one right here. This is kind of on the fly in the middle of the show. When I realized Brian was joining us, I said, we got to do this. Fred and Brian both love to flex their smart brain. And I like calling both of them old.
I like to flex it.
So
you just ask questions and I answer them.
Why not ask Fred and Brian questions about their life and about their colleges and just about being old and see who gets more of them right? We're going to quiz both of them on The Fan next.
SWE lending, all credit okay, all credit okay.
Uber Eats has Lola V products? I gotta remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before.
Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel.
Oh, is that your name? No, I mean, like your name. No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut.
But that's the hair on your head.
I'm not saying this is your hair.
Okay.
Baseball. Unmatched coverage of your local 9 is right here on The Fan.
It's The Fan After Dark on 105.3 The Fan. This segment is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. Back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They've got more new Chevys than anyone, and they're all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibu's, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
From the 972, what's up with this fan on the weekend blank? Glad y'all are finally on YouTube. Odyssey on the Roku, no more. Yes, if you want to watch us on Twitch and YouTube on the weekends, you can now do that. Shout out to our web team that made that possible. Dallas Fan Cam on Twitch and YouTube. If you want to be able to keep up with us and see our beautiful faces, you get a great shot of Brian Broaddus out in Oxnard. He's got a camera right in front of him. So if you want to see that and get a visual and an audio way of listening to the show, it's a great way to do that. I'm very excited for this segment that I came up with on the fly of just kind of interviewing / quizzing my teammates Fred Davis and Brian Broaddus. They are both very smart individuals, and I like to tease them about their age. So I'll be asking them two different sets of questions. So set number one will be Cowboys related, some Cowboys trivia to hopefully stump Brian and Fred. And then once they roll past that, we'll get into some old head stuff about their schools and maybe just overall life questions. I might keep track. We might just kind of do it for fun. We'll see how it is going through. Brian, all good over there?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Fred Davis, you locked in? Your mic's okay.
All right.
There you go.
All right. I am now. Busy morning.
Okay, so we're going to start with Fred Davis.
Yeah.
Fred, I'm going to read you a name of a real Dallas Cowboys player.
Okay.
And the name of a fake player that has never played in the NFL.
Gotcha.
And you're going to tell me which one is the Dallas Cowboys player.
Okay. I like it.
Okay. Number one, Marcus Weatherly, Obert Logan.
Marcus Weatherly or Obert Logan?
That is Correct.
I feel like this is a setup that Olbert Logan is like. It sounds like a left tackle or right guard of some sort.
Yeah.
Let's go with Olbert Logan.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Olbert Logan, safety for the Cowboys in 1960 to 1961. Only played 2 seasons wearing jersey number 0. One of the first Cowboys safety defensive pioneers in the expansion years.
And I see what you did there with the Marcus Weatherly.
I didn't do nothing. You're not catching on to any of Blake's quizzing. No, we are keeping score because we're a competitive show over here. Fred won.
Okay, I had that one. I had that one right because I think he ended up being a high school football coach down in. Yeah, I think he in Italy, Texas, somewhere around there. But he was a high school coach after he was playing, I believe.
Okay, here's a good one for Brian Broaddus. You can't be over there computering. Fred,
no,
you
I'm
can't
not.
I'm not looking at Fred.
Hands are up.
No, I just want to see. I wanted to see what he did.
Yeah, Olbert Logan. Okay. Brian Broaddus.
Everybody called him Butch, though.
Derek Zavala or Lincoln Coleman?
Lincoln Coleman was a running back with the Cowboys.
Wow.
Number 34.
I mean, this isn't fair. I mean, he literally worked for the Cowboys. What do you want from me, man?
No. I mean, I shouldn't have jumped in there as quickly as I did, but yeah, I think Lincoln Coleman actually, Fred, you can look this one up too. I think he's from the Dallas area, Lincoln Coleman. I think that's that was one of our guys that was.
By the way, where are you getting this Olbert Logan information? 60 to 61. He played from 65 to 66, played with the Saints for a year, and then came back to the Cowboys in 68. You got that from ChatGPT, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrong again. Wrong again.
Did he play for the Cowboys?
Yeah, 3 years.
Okay.
He did,
then that's what really matters.
No, but see, this is where Sam Altman's trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
Sam,
okay, I see what Sam's. The rest of the sheeples, I get it, but you know what? You ain't getting nothing past Fan After Dark.
I like it though. Let's see if you get this one right then, or Sam gets you again. Here's your name.
Let's go.
Adrian Quetzal, Jimmy Sadler McQueen.
Oh, I know this one.
Of course you do, Brian. Of course you do. Let's go with Adrian Quetzal.
Oh, don't do that, Fred. Don't do that, Fred.
We're looking
don't do that, Fred.
Jimmy Sadler McQueen. Brian, why don't you tell us about him? Because you know ChatGPT might be lying.
Was Sadler McQueen a defensive lineman? I just remember the name.
They got D-tackle, UDFA 2010, appeared in exactly one regular season game before going to practice squads.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so we've made it past the this or that. Now we're going to read some names. I'm going to read some names, and you have to spell the name. Now, these are deep cuts.
No.
These are deep cuts.
This is where I might be able to jump ahead of Broaddus here. We'll see.
Okay.
I can't spell. No, I'm out of this because I cannot spell worth a damn.
Brian, I'm going to give you a layup. I'm going to give you a layup. Brian, I got you.
Dak Prescott.
I'm going to give you a layup. Brian, you're my boy right here. I'm going to give you a layup. Okay. Brian Schottenheimer.
Oh, jeez. Brian Schottenheimer. I always write this down.
I'm going to double check just to make sure.
SCHOTTMEIE.
Wrong.
Oh, did I go too?
Wrong.
Fred, would you like to steal?
Wrong. I absolutely would. Schottenheimer. SCHOTTENHEIMER.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Thank you.
Fred takes a 2-1 lead.
Actually, no, we're 2-2.
2-2. Good call. Okay. Fred Davis.
This guy can't even keep score right. What are we doing here?
This is yours right here. Colston Weatherington.
Are we just spelling Weatherington or are we spelling Colston too?
Go ahead and spell the whole thing.
Colston. COLSTON.
Correct.
Weatherington. I'm going to go ahead and just spell it like it sounds. WEATHERINGTON. Huh?
Okay, here's another layup from Brian.
With Broaddus knowing the historical aspect and me being able to spell names,
I can't spell worth
the two
of
us.
You're talking about a guy who had to write a check for $12. $12 one time, and I had to make it for $13 because I couldn't spell 12 the right way. I am terrible at spelling. I'm the worst.
A hell of a story. Can you spell 12 now?
No, hell no.
TWELVE.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, learned a little bit.
12. Brian Broaddus, your word is Flozell Adams.
Adams. ADAMS. Flozell. FLOZELL.
Nice. The double L is hit. Last of the Cowboys questions. We are tied up at 3-3. Can Fred take the lead before we get into the old head questions? Your name is Giorgio Tavecchio. Italian.
Is this a real player?
This is It says Italian-born kicker who had a cup of coffee in the Cowboys preseason.
Yeah, he definitely had a cup of coffee.
I've never heard this guy.
Played with the Raiders and Falcons as well.
Okay, Giorgio.
ChatGPT does say it looks like his name belongs on a bottle of olive oil and not an NFL
Okay, I'm going to
roster.
go with G-I-O-R-G-I-O Tavecchio. Let's go with Tavecchio. Let's go with T-I-V.
Wrong.
I'm not going to try it, Blake.
Go for it.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not going to try it.
I'm not going to try it.
Is it T-A?
Yep.
All right. T-A-V-E?
Mm-hmm.
C-H-I-O?
Just one more C. 2 C's.
Oh.
2 C's. Ah!
Oh, sorry about that.
It's 3-3.
Nice go at it, though.
It's 3-3, but you guys still have plenty of time to someone to take the lead with it. It is 3-3. We are now getting into the old head questions. I think it is Brian's turn. Yes, you just went.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what what team did Michael Jordan hit the shot over in 1982 NCAA tournament?
It was Georgetown?
Good call. Good call.
Nice by Brian. It is 4-3.
That happened in the Superdome, and I was at school at LSU when that was going on.
I got these questions for y'all's time period.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Fred Davis, what movie won Best Picture at the Oscars in 2007, the year you graduated college?
I mean,
Movie buff too.
2007. I mean, I'm a movie buff when it comes to rattling off movie lines.
Right, the question's been asked.
Give me the list of movies that came out in 07, and I'll tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. I just got the answer.
Tell me who's in it, and tell me who.
Blake doesn't even know who's in it. I don't know movies, so the question's been asked. There's no hints to be
2007. Okay, can you tell me what the genre is?
I'm gonna tell Khaki Kev. Okay, can you help him with the genre?
I mean, it's 2007.
Or the actor?
I've got a gut on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I give him the?
Well, Brian's got a guess.
Let's let Brian try to steal it because now I'm intrigued.
I'm thinking this is the height of Clint Eastwood doing some stuff. Is this The Departed?
Brian brought us with the steal out of left field.
Well, here's the funny part about that. First of all, it wasn't here's the funny part about that.
That
wasn't a Clint Eastwood movie. That was a Martin Scorsese movie.
He did the math wrong, but he got the answer right.
I was going to say, yeah.
I was thinking he was part of The Departed. But that's what I was
You're thinking of
thinking.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, as far as you talking about directing or being in the movie, which obviously
directing,
he does both.
I was thinking it was kind of the height of when he was doing stuff, and then, but I was thinking like, is this
like
but
The
I just
Mule or
guessed
something
The
like that?
Departed, yeah.
But yeah, no, great call by you on The Departed. I didn't realize that was 07, but yeah, that's a Martin Scorsese flick.
Okay.
Brian brought us. In what city were the 1984 Summer Olympics held?
Oh wow, you know this, Brian.
Oh, the 84 was the Los Angeles.
Brian,
I mean, you're asking him like layups.
That's a softball question.
Seriously,
because the U.S. boycotted the ones
Olympics.
in the Soviet Union in '80, and then the Soviets boycotted us in '84.
Yeah, because and I want to say in 28, the Olympics are coming back to L.A.
They are.
Fred Davis. What video game console did Nintendo release in 2006 that became a campus favorite, especially at KU? That's what it says here.
Oh, it's got. I'm going to go with the Wii.
The Wii.
Nice. It is 4-6. Brian with a nice healthy.
4-6. It was we were just tied. I mean, what are you talking about?
He stole and got one. He stole and got one.
Yeah, The Departed. I just guessed.
And then he got his own.
Whatever, bro.
We're back to Brian Broadus. Don't hate the player. Do not hate the player.
These layup questions Brian's getting.
Fred,
there's some
Brian.
Which Olympics was in 1984?
Brian.
Meanwhile, what book won the Pulitzer Prize in 2003?
I asked you the movie, and you love movies. Brian, what infamous 1986 disaster grounded NASA space shuttle?
Oh, my God, dude. What are we doing
Challenger,
here?
Right?
Brian,
what are we doing?
Brian hasn't missed one. I just want to let you know.
Because they're layups.
How does it feel, Fred?
They're layups.
Fred.
You know what's interesting about that? I had a teammate at LSU, Jeff Wickersham. His mom
almost got on that.
No, his mom was the scheduling director for the shuttle program.
Oh wow!
And she was best friends with all those folks, all those astronauts, and she quit the program after that. after that happened, she said, I'm out of the. She quit NASA. Because
I'm sure
she didn't want to go through that again. She lost every one of those, but she was scheduling director. He was our quarterback at LSU, damn good quarterback. And but yeah, his mom just said, "I'm not doing this anymore." I went and visited. Matter of fact, if you're ever at the Kennedy Space Center, it's a great tour. If you're ever in that area, the Cocoa Beach area and stuff like that, go take that tour. You'll see your tax dollars being spent, but it's a really, really good tour.
Interesting.
Well, a little tough way to segue into my last question.
Yeah, go ahead. Last one.
What was the third most famous author?
I was going to say, bro, I swear to God, I'm about to flip this table over.
Fred, what celebrity shaved her head in 2007 that was highly publicized?
Oh, Britney Spears.
That was a good one.
Fred Davis with
one
the
more time.
buzzer beater to lose 7-5.
Whatever. Terrible.
Thanks for taking care of me, Blake. I appreciate you.
All right, show reset coming up. We're going to throw more softballs to Brian Broaddus. Top five skill position players in the NFL. We're talking tight ends. We're talking wide receivers. We're talking running backs. That's going to go down at 12:20. But let's reset this program. We'll talk a little Rangers, talk a little Cowboys, a couple text messages. Lots to get to. Don't go anywhere. Final out of the program coming up right here on 105.3 The Fan.
When your friends say, "Hey, did you hear?"
Said that. Was it Spice Girls? Doesn't sound right. Was it Saffron Squad?
exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
An Odyssey sports station. Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Final hour of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have each and every one of you on board for this final hour of the show. We got NFL Network on. Chiefs are in full pads. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in full pads today. What is and let me ask you this, Brian Broaddus. And, of course, we got Brian Broaddus joining us from Oxnard, California. Now, don't forget, we'll have the morning show and the afternoon show. And we may have to explain what no, we don't have to anymore because we've already explained to Blake what the afternoon show is here on 105.3 The Fan. It's not relative. It's an actual thing.
To be determined.
What do you expect the intensity to be like starting off now that we know that there's actually going to be real hitting going on, Brian? Are you already kind of feeling a little bit different vibe in the air already compared to what has been like the last 4 or 5 days now that we're actually going to see some violence today?
Yeah, I think it's more controlled violence. I mean, the whole idea is to they're still going to go hard, 3-4 steps. I don't know if you're really interested in like taking guys down,
right.
Running backs. I don't think you're interested in taking a shot at a receiver coming across the middle like you would in a game. I think where you'll notice it is, though, with some of the run stuff that they're able to do, you'll be able to see if guys how quickly they can get off blocks. Are they getting movement? That part of it is, I mean, that's the element that you really kind of look forward to. It'll be more something that you could see with the offense and defensive lines, actually the front seven and then the offensive line and how they play. But everybody else will be kind of, I think you'll notice the linebacker play a lot more with the pads coming on and stuff. It'll be interesting to see if they have any one-on-one pass rush drill or one-on-one things. This was Jason Garrett was really, really big on that, and you could get something out of the practice that way. You're like, oh, well, here's a one-on-one, and he created competition, like calling guys out, like, okay, Tyler Smith and Oso Diggy's the one. Then they do a one-on-one rep, kind of a thing. And I don't know if this coach is going to do that stuff, but you could see you'll see it just in the team periods is where it'll be the most noticeable.
I'm going to go ahead and put my take out there. I think Schottenheimer will do that. I feel like he's the type of guy.
I can't get anybody to confirm it yet. I've asked people.
The fact that no one's denied it.
I've asked people in the organization, is there going to be some one-on-one stuff? And I have not heard back on that because
they're saving it.
And the Cowboys do a really interesting thing on .com that you can follow along to. It's called Training Camp Live, and it's something that we created, myself and Kent Garrison created Derek Eagleton many, many, many years ago. And it's an actual live look in at practice is what it is. So you can get something out of how that's gonna play out. And there's a lot of guys in Galaxy that are doing clips too, as we've seen, and you can follow along that way. But Training Camp Live will give you a really good glimpse on what's going on here.
Clip time, that's the best time. That's the best time to get clips when there's one-on-ones. There's not as much stuff going on in the field. The wide receivers going against these corners.
You follow it, but yeah, we don't know if there's going to be a one-on-one. Like, are we going to see Guyton versus Ezaraku? We don't know that right now.
I want to see Kalen Carson get his revenge on CD.
There you go. That could be a possibility. Sure.
One position group that we have not discussed damn near at all. Well, I guess there's two position groups we haven't talked about at all, and for obvious reasons. Number one being special teams. We have made no mention of Brandon Aubrey.
Nope. Who's on the final year of his contract?
He is. Which I'm surprised. Okay, real quick. That's a great. And normally, 92% of most fans could care. Could give two bleeps about the kicker, unless you're in Baltimore, Kansas City, or Dallas. That said, are you surprised with Ferguson getting his deal done? Are you surprised at all, Brian, that Brandon Aubrey, who, and all jokes aside, might have been your MVP last year offensively, considering what this team had to go through last year? Are you surprised that they have not gotten a deal done with him yet?
Well, that's what's our top kicker now? Are we near $7 million on that one? Where are we on that?
I think no. I want it now that now that Tucker's out of the league,
I think a kicker just got signed. I think somebody just upped their kicker.
Well, Bucker's at $5 million.
Okay,
right.
I think we went above that.
Are we doing per year?
Yeah,
per year.
They got Harrison Butker at 6.4, Jake Elliott at 6, Cameron Dicker for the Chargers a little right below 6, Evan McPherson a little below 6. You got a couple guys making over 5.
Okay, so this is going to be right at $6-7 million then, right? Yeah,
man, that's a crazy number for kickers, isn't it?
Yeah. You're paying but this guy is so valuable. When you get past the midfield logo, there's a chance that you're going to get 3 points out of this thing. Kickers, it's a really risky proposition, because you just don't know when we're going to lose that. Like they get the yips as a golfer. All of a sudden, it's success, and then all of a sudden there's a lack of confidence or the yips, or maybe mechanically something happens. I remember with Bailey, was kicking here, so accurate, Dan Bailey, accurate. Then he got the back injury, and he wasn't the same. He just wasn't the same. And so you worry about that, especially with the kicking position.
I'm going to go with Brandon Aubrey gets $6 million flat. Right now, there is only 3 kickers in the entire league that make less money than him. That's obviously being that he has not gotten a contract yet. He makes under $1 million a year right now, $898,000.
Well, and here's the thing, too, that you guys got to take into consideration with our boy Brandon Aubrey. He's already 30 years old.
Correct.
Okay, so this is his bag right here. I mean, and the thing is, think about Justin Tucker. I mean, being a creep notwithstanding, he fell off a cliff at 34.
Yeah, sure did.
All right. And so the days of Morton Anderson, and isn't that kind of interesting to you, the sense that now you've got quarterbacks, which is a far more difficult position than kicker, at least, in most capacities. But, you got quarterbacks playing well into their mid to late 30s. Whereas, who's the last great kicker that you can think of? I mean, look, Vinatieri, yes, he played until his 40s, but outside of 40 yards, the dude you couldn't, after a 40-yard field goal, that was a wrap on him.
How long did Janikowski
Robbie Gould how old was Robbie Gould when he was kicking?
Mason Crosby.
Mason Crosby, yeah, I was kind of thinking those NFC North kickers all of a sudden.
But do we think as far as, but the thing with like a Mason Crosby or a Gould was what after, because it's become now, if your kicker isn't automatic from like 55 in, then what are we talking about? Which seems insane considering, back in Broadus' days, you had dudes kicking barefoot.
Yeah.
Like that's real. Blake's laughing at me right now. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
Rich Carlos was at Denver. Imagine that. Rich Carlos in Denver in those weather conditions he played in, kicked barefooted. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
What, they didn't have shoes for the kickers?
He did not wear shoes.
They chose not to kick with feet. They
barefoot.
Kick barefoot, man.
No feet. Take your ankle out there.
Sometimes with Blake, I have to hold myself because I want to say words that you can't say on radio. But yes, Broadus, thank you for being here, because had you not been here, I would have gotten laughed out of the room at the idea of kicking barefoot. And
Tony Franklin set a Southwest Conference record for field goals like over 65 yards, him and Russell Erxleben at Texas. But
Tony Franklin kicked back in the day.
No, Tony Franklin kicked. He went to Philadelphia, barefooted kicker for a number of years. And
when was the last barefooted kicker? When was the last year they were cooking barefoot?
I would say
barefoot.
You could probably look it up. I don't know on the chat, but I think to me the last one in the NFL, I think, was Rich Carlos from Denver Broncos. I think I'm right about that.
I think that sounds right. And then, of course, you had a few punters. You had a few punters that would kick barefooted as well. Yeah. Tom Tupa's not walking that door, boys. Okay, Tom Tupa.
I was
not walking that door.
One of my positions on my high school team
was punter,
backup punter. So if they ever emergency punter. Because we had our boy Carl Teller, who was a phenomenal punter.
He was the backup
Did you ever develop as a holder? Could you do anything else?
No holding. But I was just messing around one day in practice and said, okay, you got a little bit of a leg on you. And no technical, no form. I would rugby style kick it. And we did score a touchdown one time.
We may have to run some special gadget plays with Blake Elliott as our backup punter.
And that's what they had. When we'd be faking a punt,
that's it. That's it. No, what number were you? 32?
32. You punt earlier in the game. You're like, it must just be the other punter not paying attention. Boom, I'm off.
Okay, real quick. I'm glad we remembered your number. Where are you at and nobody better suited to answer this question than the one, the only Brian Broaddus. Where are you at on the career of Tyrann Mathieu?
And put your bias in there. I don't want bias aside. Put your bias in your take.
Well, do both.
This is Blake's favorite player of all time, so all the love is
one of the best college players I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And I think to me I don't think that college player was always in the NFL. There was things that Mathieu did at LSU that were phenomenal. He was almost like that Troy Polamalu kind of appearance, the way he played the game and stuff, being around the ball. You get it to him somehow, some way. He was always going to be electric in the way, the blitzing and all. I think he had a nice career. I don't think he had the career that he had in college.
Okay, and
that translated over.
Thank you for saying that. So I got into it with Chiefs Twitter earlier this week when one of this, and I'm not even going to mention the website, but one of these guys, and Chiefs Twitter is awful. Let me just go ahead and say that right now.
Isn't every social media's team?
You're right.
Twitter
You're probably
awful?
not wrong. I mean, I'll say this. I think Cowboys Twitter is a lot more rational.
I thought you were talking about Eric Chiafalo when you said Chief, but you're talking about Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I see what you did there.
Limit your comments, Frederick.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, Tyrann Mathieu announces his retirement on Monday, and then some clown show, and that's all I'm going to call him, says he belongs in the Chiefs Ring of Honor. And I responded with, why don't we just go ahead and add T. Suggs and Sammy Watkins while we're at it, too? No thanks. And it got to be pretty heated. In fact, one guy blocked me after calling me a hot take artist and told me I should stick to roofing. Then blocked me and wouldn't let me respond. Anyway, that's another story. I didn't realize he had 2 All-Pro seasons in Kansas City. Okay, I knew his second year he was pretty damn good in Kansas City. I remember his third year he missed every other tackle or just didn't even try to tackle. Sure. And then the first year I thought he was good, not great. My thing is this. Now, the Chiefs have already let Dante Hall in the Chiefs Ring of Honor.
People are saying Eric Berry as well right now.
I don't think Eric Berry's in there yet.
No, they're not.
No,
saying
Eric Berry. I would take Eric Berry over Tyrann Mathieu myself.
See, and that's what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, look, I get it. Again, 2 All-Pros, hard to argue with. But my thing also, to those, I felt like one of those was the Chiefs had a really, really good defense that year. Tyrann Mathieu is a very visible player. And look, and I'll go back to my boy Henry Thomas, who, let's call it what it was there was more than 2 years where he should have been an All-Pro in the NFL. Okay, I think we all agree on that. So again, you take All-Pros. I'm not gonna say you take it with a grain of salt, but you got to put context into it. I mean, is it crazy to think that a guy 3 years and just having 2 solid years belongs in a Ring of Honor? I mean, am I crazy for saying no on that?
I'll tell you, if you look at the Buffalo Bills Ring of Honor, their name's up there. And I know they have a history in the AFL, but they're names that you go, and I pride myself on trying to, if I don't know the name, I try and look it up.
Right.
And say, okay. And sometimes there will be guys that will be in a Ring of Honor because they were part of a team, but then they tragically passed away.
Sure.
Something happened, but they were
Joe Delaney.
Yeah, very inspirational and all that. So, but Tyrann Mathieu, like I said, I expected so much more from him. A good player, good NFL player.
Yeah, I agree.
But man, in college, he was a difference maker, and I don't know if he was always a difference maker in the NFL.
I agree. Speaking of difference makers, we've got one on the radio with us right now. The one, the only, Brian Broaddus. He is the ultimate difference maker, that's for sure. All right, we had a great top 5 yesterday. Really got in the feels, if you will. Today, we're keeping it strictly football, boys. Keeping it football, keeping it in Brian Broaddus' wheelhouse. Yes, that's right. Not that there isn't a wheelhouse that Brian Broaddus can't jump into, but when we return, top five skill position players as we see it in today's National Football League. We're talking tight ends, we're talking wide receivers, we're talking running backs. Top 5 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Sean and RJ, the KNC Masterpiece, G-Mag Nation, and Fan After Dark. Live and local. Turn it on and
remember that.
Well, you know, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before. Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel. Oh, is that your name? No, I mean like your name. No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen. Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut. But that's hair on your head. I'm not saying this is your hair. Okay, forgive me.
excited. Really excited. So this is top 5, but Kevin Walker
17 different variations
spurred my mind. He said snake draft, right?
Snake draft.
And then I said, why not let's do a draft? And I know Brian brought us, we've given him 12 different instructions in the break, but the way we're going to be doing this is Brian brought us going to have pick 101, and he is going to pick who he thinks is the best skill position player in the NFL. Then we'll go to Kevin Walker. Then we'll go to Blake. Then we'll go to Fred. And since Fred was last, he will have the second pick in the next round. Yeah. And then when we all have 5 players, we can just kind of make fun of each other's teams and see who's got the best. You guys can vote. You guys can send. We're just going to be talking about the 5 best skill position players. All players.
Are we doing 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever
so you can have 4 tight ends and a running back.
You can have 4 tight ends and a fullback for all I care.
All right, who's going first? Broadus or?
We're letting Broadus go first, into Kevin, into Blake, into Fred. So
did you guys eliminate? You said you eliminated Chase.
No.
We did.
Those were back in the list now because we're drafting.
Oh. Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Jeez, what are we doing on this show?
Welcome to the show, Brian. Welcome to the show.
I'll take Chase with the first pick.
Hey, can we get some draft music? Can we get some draft music in the background?
I mean, Blake's just over here
I've done
doing
this before. If you go back to the 1998 draft, if you go back, every team had like 15 minutes to make a pick.
Yeah.
And I took the shortest amount of time.
You got 15 seconds, baby. You got 15 seconds. I know you've done more and less.
Yep. Give me Chase as the first.
Give me Chase. That'd have been my number 1 pick.
Boom. There you go.
Okay, Kevin Walker.
I'm not gonna overthink this. Just give me Jay Jettis.
There you go.
I think our first round would be pretty simple.
Who did he take?
He chose Jefferson.
Okay, gotcha.
With the 3rd overall pick, Blake will be taking CeeDee Lamb.
Nice choice there. Let's
was
see.
back-to-back picks.
With my back-to-back picks. You know what? I'm gonna shock the draft board right now. I'm gonna go Rashee Rice.
Wow.
And Brock Bowers.
Oh wow.
Oh, we are sponsored by Uber, Lyft, and Alto. Okay, we will not let
and Rogaine for Brock Bowers.
Oh, we're gonna let him shave his head. Yeah, that's right. I got the best tight end in the game, and I've got he's gonna miss 2 games. WR1. He ain't gonna miss more than 2. He ain't gonna miss more than 2. He didn't kill anybody. Okay? He didn't kill anybody.
Interesting.
Rashee Rice, North Richland Hills own. North Richland Hills own Rashee Rice.
I appreciate the layup. I will have the best team because I'm going to be staying in the division, and I'll be taking the running back, Saquon Barkley.
Nice.
That's a good one. That's
nice
a good
choice.
one.
Nice choice.
Kevin Walker, your pick after getting Justin Jefferson.
My pick after getting Justin Jefferson, I'm going to go with... He's got a couple good years left. I'll take Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, injury prone. CMC was not on my board. Was not on my board.
Bum pick. This guy is probably going to break his Achilles before the season even starts.
He was not on my top 10 either.
He wasn't even on my top 50.
Let's go to Brian Broadus. Who do you have?
I'm taking Cam Scattaboo before I take McCaffrey.
Give me Derrick Henry here.
Derrick Henry, the old head over there.
Oh.
Back-to-back picks.
Solid.
Brian, who do you got with your 3rd overall pick?
I will take Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh, a sleeper receiver. Hasn't been getting talked about a lot in the offseason. So, to recap, in the first round, Brian went Jamar Chase. Second round, he went Derrick Henry. Kevin Walker went Justin Jefferson. Second round, broke down CMC. Blake Elliott with 2 phenomenal picks, 2 value picks, 2 great picks. CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, NFC East domination. Fred Davis, I don't know. I think a little bit of
Rashee Rice and Brock Bowers. Thank you. Get
Brock Bowers.
At least my guy will play all year.
Yeah.
Huh? At least my guy will play all year.
Really? Who? Chris McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Really?
McCaffrey will play more games than Rice will.
Are you what?
Yeah.
Oh no! One guy can't play because he's unhealthy. One guy's only waiting on the NFL to not. Plus, he plays for the Chiefs, bro. He ain't missing more than 2 games. Get out of here. Get out of here.
I like that. Who will play more games, CMC or Rashee Rice?
That's not even a question.
Kevin Walker with your 3rd overall pick. You need to bring it back here. Who do you have 3rd overall?
Well, I went old, so I'm going to go young. Give me Genty.
Ashton Genty. I like
that. I like that pick. I like that pick.
Okay, Blake Elliott. Y'all are just letting all the guys I want slip to me with my 3rd overall pick. I'm going to take another running back. Actually, never mind. I need to be smart right here.
Jeez.
I'm going to take a wide receiver.
Build up for nothing.
Take a wide receiver. Give me Nico Collins.
Okay.
Underrated 2nd-team All-Pro this season.
Okay.
Nico Collins.
Is my turn?
It is your
turn.
My turn. Back-to-back picks.
Okay, let's go with Jahmyr Gibbs.
No! I should have taken him. That was my pick.
You know what? Let's go back to the NFC East. Give me another stud at wide receiver, neighbors.
Wow, nice.
This team
Young
is good.
team.
Boss hogs.
Yeah.
All my guys.
I like it. There's a lot of good skill positions.
Yeah, no.
Fred, I've liked your draft. I've liked your draft.
I know.
I've liked your draft.
I do too.
With Blake's 4th overall pick, I'm not going to pick for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and get this stud.
Get it
Let
out of
us
the way.
know that we're pronouncing his name
I
incorrect.
knew you were going with this.
Running back for the Falcons.
I knew you were going with this.
Bijan Robinson.
I like it.
Bijan Robinson.
I like it.
Kevin Walker. You've got Jetta, CMC, and Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
Who are you getting at pick 4?
I will take what is known as one of the better wide receiver 2s in the league. I will take T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
The collective sigh and silence of the group.
It's all good.
Brian just goes, T. Higgins.
Let's say. Is it my turn?
It's Brian's turn.
Am I back to back here?
Yeah, you're back.
Go ahead. I think TJ Hushmanzada is still on the board.
I'm kind of struggling here a little bit. I think I'm going to take.
Don't worry, we all are right now.
I'm going to take tight end Trey McBride from Arizona.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
That deserves a ring.
And then I'm also going to have 3 wide receivers here.
Final pick.
This is it. Final pick.
Puka Nacua.
Oh, we let him slip.
Good one.
We let him slip.
Man, that's a solid choice. Ooh, that's a good pick.
All right. Kevin Walker with your final pick right here. I believe Cole Kmet's still available if you want to snag him.
Give me Lad
Kevin,
McConkey.
don't let him do that. Kevin, don't let him do that to you, man.
I don't.
Good player.
Nothing they say affects me. Lad McConkey.
Lad with pick 5. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh, man.
Okay, I need to be smart. Final pick here. I don't necessarily need a tight end. Who is slipping? Okay, that guy. I'm going to stay in the NFC East. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. I feel like he slipped too far.
That's who I thought Kevin was going to take.
I'm going to take A.J. Brown. Take us home, Fred. This will be the last player selected in the draft.
Number 3 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. We may only have him for a year, but it's going to be a fun one. Give me George Pickens with my final pick of the draft. My boy's going ham this year.
I'm going to read all 4 teams. You guys text in which is the best, and then we'll kind of chat about some guys that didn't make the list and some of the ones that why we put them on here and what we're expecting for the season. Brian Broaddus' team, listen up, folks. Jamar Chase at pick 1 for him.
Solid.
Derrick Henry at pick 2 for him.
Good pick.
I messed up one of yours. I wrote Henry twice. So what was...
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra, thank you. That's completely my fault. Amon-Ra St. Brown. At pick 4, he got Trey McBride. And at pick 5, he got Puka Nacua, a steal.
I like that.
In the
Puka Nacua move is wildly underrated. That's a hell of a pick right there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We'll do Kevin's team last. I think it deserves it. My team, CeeDee Lamb at pick 1, which I think phenomenal pick. Saquon Barkley fell all the way to the second round for me.
First 2 just out the park.
Then I think the most underrated player on my whole list, Nico Collins at pick 3. Jameer Gibbs.
Body guy, yeah.
Jameer Gibbs got picked right after me. I was eyeing. Those are the 2 guys I was going back and
forth. That's who you're going to pick before you took Nico, wasn't it?
100%.
I knew for a fact.
And then I had to go with Bijan Robinson at pick 4, and then A.J. Brown at pick 5.
So you and I swapped out because I was expecting you to take Jameer Gibbs, and I was going to take Bijan Robinson, as we found out. So
I like the Ashton Genty pick, by the way.
I do too.
Yeah,
that to me is Khakis' best pick.
I like that a lot.
Fred's team: Rashee Rice, Brock Bowers. Then he went with some young cats: Jameer Gibbs and Malik Neighbors. I like that. And then the hometown hero, George Pickens.
Just out of curiosity, Broaddus, out of your top 5, where would you have picked Rashee Rice?
I didn't have him in my top 5.
Interesting.
Says the guy who's got the oft-injured running back.
Who's going to play more than Rashee Rice will?
That's all you got to say, bro. That's literally all you have to say.
For Kevin's team, for you guys that are just tuning in, Justin Jefferson, phenomenal first-round pick.
Name this guy. Okay, name somebody that's not on the injured list that's on his team. Because Jettis is hurt. Is what's his name? Is he even on the active roster right now?
CMC, Jettis, Ashton Genty, T. Higgins, and Lad McConkey. It's Kevin Walker's team. Thoughts on everybody's teams? I personally, I think I have the best team.
Number one team right here.
I would give team number 2 to Brian, team number 3 to Fred, and unfortunately, last it's going to be the T. Higgins.
Okay. Kevin's gonna shock us all with his team.
Well,
are we
I hope
keep
he does.
stats? Are we to keep these stats?
Oh,
for the year?
we're keeping stats.
See how it
we're
works?
keeping stats.
Right.
I've got.
I wish I'd have got Jahmyr.
I mean, Rashee Rice is a number 1 wide receiver and has the best quarterback in the NFL throwing to him. And by the way, was the number 1. Did you just say?
He's not the number 1 wide receiver there.
Got that so quick.
I know you, dude. You drafted T. Higgins, bro. I'm not trying to hear anything
Jamar
from
Chase
you.
wasn't there.
Okay, so I've got Rashee Rice, who, by the way, was leading the NFL in receiving last year before he got hurt. So I don't even want to hear it. Malik Neighbors is a freak show. Is a number 1 wide receiver.
Who's throwing him the ball?
That is a question.
3 different quarterbacks.
Look, I get it. I am.
If it's Jackson Dart, he might have a chance.
I'm a little nervous, but hey, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, we know this much. Russell Wilson did find George Pickens for the first 8 games he was in there, and then Arthur Smith decided to, hey, you guys are doing too much on the offense. Let's scale it back to 1980s time, and the rest was history.
Sure.
Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe the best running back in the NFL. Okay,
Fair.
3B,
I like him.
3C.
I like him.
And Brock Bowers is the best tight end.
Brock Bowers.
I was going to take Brock Bowers at 1 overall if you didn't.
Just saying, boys.
That would have been I would have took Brock Bowers if you didn't take him right before Barkley, and I was going to take Jahmyr Gibbs.
And yes, with the Rashee Rice, but again, and Brian, you know this as well as anybody. You know this as well as anybody.
Homer.
If it's all that matters is where they at on your board.
On your board.
Okay.
That's all that matters. Kevin takes solace in that every pick.
We drafted 20 players who we believe are the 20 best skill position. Now, there were some undrafted guys that people are texting. Some underrated. So,
good one.
Laporta, do you think he should have made it over any of these 20 guys?
I think that, you start to talk about Kittle, Laporta, maybe T.J. Hawkinson. The tight end list went a little
no
different
Kittle.
than I thought.
We only drafted 2 tight ends, McBride and Bowers.
Yeah. I was with you on that.
Wide receiver, we didn't draft Brian Thomas Jr. or Terrence Warren.
That's
okay. So I had Brian Thomas Jr. in my sights, but I went with the homer pick.
I think
I went with the George Pickens.
Kevin's last 2 picks of T. Higgins and Ladd McConkey kind of left us hanging.
But you know what? Hey, the only pick I don't like of Kevin's is CMC. I don't mind any of your other picks.
And I don't like your Rashee Rice pick, and that's all right.
This dude here.
What do we think about? I think Jackson Smith should have got drafted. I think he's one of the 20 best skill positions.
Yeah.
We left DK Metcalf off the list too.
He deserves to be left off. I do not think DK's top 20 skill
positions. He might put up some yards this year.
DJ Moore, who's been 1,000-yard guy.
Yeah.
Did not get drafted.
I flirted with the idea of drafting him 5.
Anybody else that got omitted? Tyreek Hill, is he falling off that list as top 20 skill position?
I think so.
God, we left Tyreek Hill off.
Any other running backs you want to give a shout to that didn't make the list? Do you think should have?
I thought the running backs all went. I thought that now maybe what's our guy in Green Bay?
Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs might be a guy that we should have thought about.
I flirted with the idea of taking Omari and Hampton number 5.
That would have been a good one.
I was really thinking about taking
that. Would
him.
have been that would have been a good one.
Just because the
guy in Jacksonville, the receiver, my guy in Jacksonville, that receiver,
Brian Thomas Jr.
That might have been a miss by us.
I think that probably was a miss by us.
Yeah.
Did I reach with George Pickens?
You did great. There's your last pick.
Over Thomas.
Yeah, over
Thomas. You probably did.
That was my thing. Was that?
But it's about who can Trevor Lawrence. We see Trevor Lawrence got him the ball. Can Dak get Pickens the ball? That's the key right there.
Would Travis Hunter have been available? If so, then we missed out on that.
He was available. He's a skill position. He plays receiver, but I wouldn't have drafted him top 20.
No,
I like him.
Solid choices, boys. Solid choices. All right, final segment of the show. You know what? A+ for everybody. Why? Because we stuck to our boards. All right, final segment of the program as we get ready for a little bit of Rangers baseball and final parting shots from Brian Broaddus in Oxnard, California.
Career changers, including veterans and...
something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut. That's like a little shag. I've never seen that before.
Well, I mean, of course you have. It's the Rachel.
Oh, is that your name?
No, I mean, like your name.
No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your haircut.
But that's hair on your head.
I'm not saying this is your hair.
Okay, freaking me out.
Fact number one Chevy dealership in the world. They've got more new Chevys than anyone, and they're all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Malibus, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Some reaction to our draft that we just did with Brian Broaddus, Blake Elliott, Fred Davis, Kevin Walker joining you here. Fan on the weekends.
Can we, real quick, before you dive into this, I just want... I need to give a round of applause. A, to Blake for the idea. B, to Brian Broaddus. Because Kevin's has done the show long enough with us. All the producers are well aware of our frenetic ADD nature of this program, where we will literally change segments, ideas during a break, during a show, during a segment. So that's par for the course. Kevin handled it like a pro. But kudos to Brian Broaddus.
Yes. Ball knowledge, ready.
Just because we knew that we could change the dynamic of the segment, and Brian Broaddus isn't going to not be able to come up with 5 people off the top of his head when it comes to skill players in the National Football League.
You had a little Trey McBride love.
Threw out Trey McBride, for God's sakes. There's Arizona fans who don't even know who Trey McBride is, for crying out loud.
Some text that we got was sponsored by Smith & Wesson when you made your Rashee Rice pick.
What's he got to do with it? I thought Uber. Talking about when he shot up the teammate's car for... I mean, let's call it... It's not like he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. I mean, you guys are mocking my Rashee Rice pick.
I don't think he should have been a first-round pick. I think he should have been on the board.
Again, Stick to y'all's boards.
You just said you act like he's not supposed to be a first round.
It really does. It only matters what the team thinks, not what everybody else
Thank
thinks.
you, Brian Broaddus.
That is a true statement.
And when he goes off for 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns, who's laughing then?
Well, is that going to be a week 16 or 17?
Who's laughing now? Huh?
Week 16 or 17 he does that.
Wow.
I just think he's going to miss more than 2 games. That's my thing.
Based off of what?
Based on the fact of what he did. I think he's going to miss more than 2.
He got into a car accident where no one died.
Okay. Maybe.
I mean, no, that's a fact. Like, no one died. It's a car accident where no one died.
Yeah, but the commissioner, you never want to put your fate in his hands. You know?
But again, it's the Chiefs.
I understand. I mean, and I agree with you, but you just never want to put your fate in the commissioner's hands.
Some text we got saying Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
We missed on that.
Someone said Rashee Rice is missing 6 minimum, Fred.
Nope.
McCaffrey's a great pick. A lot of people texting about Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
Rice is not even close to a boss. Laughing my A.
I love it. Keep it coming, people. Keep it coming.
People are leaving church, and this dude really said T. Higgins.
Damn right.
Did you say Nico Collins is an all-pro and then not pick him, Blake? No, I did pick him.
He did. It was your third pick, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Fred wins.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rice has done nothing so far in the league.
That's from Clark Hunt driving home from church.
Has done nothing in the league. Let's see. He was the leading receiver on a Super Bowl winning team and was leading the league in receiving last year before he got hurt. Like, if you don't know ball, don't chime in.
Fred and Kevin's team suck.
Good.
From the 817.
You know what, Kevin? You know what? We stand united on this. You know what? They want to hate on us. We stuck to our boards.
Let me tell you this, guys. When I ran that draft in Philly, I had Sal Palantonio tell me. I had a scout. I had a scout in the NFL tell me I had the worst draft in the history of the National Football League. And I looked at him. I said, "Do you think you want to give it a few years?" He says, "No, I know you did it. I know you had the worst draft." And like I say, 4 of the 7 picks we made the Pro Bowl. So you never know. It's just the way it.
Exactly.
Just the way you take the guys you want to take. That's what this is all about.
Someone said Rashee Rice is just as bad as pick as T. Higgins. T. Higgins would be the number 1 on the Chiefs if he were there.
No, he wouldn't. It's Rashee Rice. Like, are we? I mean, who does not? I mean, are we not familiar with Rashee Rice's body of work?
Look, my problem, again, is not with the talent of Rashee Rice.
You're talking about the suspension, and I respect that. I have zero issue with what you're coming from, is that it's not the talent, it's the fact that this suspension can be anywhere from 2 games to 6 games. And look, if it's 6, hey, shame on me. Shame on me. But I'm going to tell you right now, actually, it was my second-round pick because I took Brock Bowers.
You were saying Brock
Bowers.
I thought you said Rice first, but you don't think you could have got Rice where you got Neighbors? You think he would have been gone by then?
I probably could have, but you know what?
You like your guys.
That's it.
That's it. Khaki Kev is hallucinating like ChatGPT in the 469. We got play for player. Higgins could be better than Pickens and Rice. LOL, Fred, Mr. Football.
951. T. Higgins, best pick, underrated.
972 Tyreek Hill, some Tyreek Hill love.
Yeah.
Someone said Metcalf might be a sleeper. I disagree. I think he's fallen.
He could be a sleeper. I do. I think he could be a sleeper. Because look, here's one thing you know: Rodgers is going to get him the rock.
Ooh, here's some good text. Kevontae Turpin.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Seriously.
Someone also said Brevin Spanford.
I mean, why don't we just pick Schoonmaker and Javonte Williams while we're at it too? I mean, seriously.
Here's someone said, honest question. I'm gonna let Broaddus answer this one first. Honest question: if Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State were in NFL this year, would he have made the draft?
Wow, man, likely so. See, but then again, we forgot Brian Thomas.
Well, we forgot Brian Thomas. I mean, look, are we gonna? We forgot Marvin Harrison Jr.
He's not on my list.
But I mean, look, everybody's talking about what a freak he is. I mean, he was a 4th overall pick. I mean, would we be at all surprised if he went off for 1,400 yards this year? No,
not at all.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and look, is Malik Neighbors pound for pound a top 10 wide receiver? Yes. Is the situation he in sucks? Yes. I mean, look, Saquon Barkley was a difference maker on that Philadelphia Eagles team.
No question.
You watch him with the Giants, and you're saying to yourself, could this guy have been a bust?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
Brian knows as well as anybody, and I've talked to, and we've all worked with enough professional athletes. I don't care if it's the NBA or the NFL. It's as much about the situation you get drafted into. Coaching, the whole 9. Henry said something the other day, Brian, when and your boy Pete Jenkins was up here doing a camp, and Henry was with a guy that'd been in the league 9 years, and didn't know how to put his footwork in the right position when lining up on the edge.
Yeah.
And Henry said to himself, and he said one coach just tells him, just get into the gap. And the guy was like, okay, how's that work? And Henry had to explain to him the different ways that you can attack a gap. This is a guy that's been in the league 8-9 years. But he said that goes to show you, and that goes back to what Brian was talking about earlier in the show, where the dude that was the D-line coach was friends with the D coordinator.
Friendship league.
And so that's why this guy's trying to coach up people, but yet, you got a guy that's been in the league, that was a 14-year NFL veteran who's forgotten more about technique than most of these guys in the NFL today will ever know.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I think it was a fantastic draft, a lot of fun with you guys. That's kind of just our 20 who we think are going to be impactful skill position players. We'll kind of track these throughout the season. See whose team comes out on top. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about my team.
I'm geeked about mine. Can't wait. Can't wait.
But you definitely have to look out for a lot of different factors. We'll be watching T. Higgins this season.
All right, last thing. Brian, you are out at practice today. What time's practice start?
11:45. I think we're getting ready to get Coach Schottenheimer here at 11:05. So, yeah.
Nice, man. I'm jelly. All right, give us 2 or 3 things that Brian brought us to scout is looking for today at the first padded practice training camp.
Inside 3 for the Cowboys offensive line versus the inside 3 for the Dallas Cowboys defense. See how that controls linebacker play, defensive line play. See if that all matches up pretty well.
Give me a linebacker you're looking at.
Not named Damone Clark.
Jack Sanborn.
Sanborn.
Yeah, Jack Sanborn. I'm interested to see if, in fact, I'm hoping that Murray's back today, being that the pads are on. But these guys, they've had these kids. They haven't been back here lately. So hopefully they get them back. We got pads today and tomorrow. So the next couple of days will be really, really good.
Murray Green Dot, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah, but inside 3 versus inside 3 for or really inside 4 for the defense. See how that all plays out.
Love it. And then the one position group that I meant to get into in the last segment or two, but we got into a kicking discussion. Safeties. What for a group that was underwhelming, and Malik Hooker has been good, not great in his career, but last year left a lot to be desired. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, I tell you what though, the guy that really kind of shown up though, Bell. It's the backups that have shown up. Bell has shown up, and then also Wanye had a really nice interception yesterday, and he got some burn with the one. He got some burn with the ones yesterday. So, they had a couple of different spots. Matter of fact, Tyler Booker was running with the 2s yesterday, and Rob Jones was running with right guard number 1. Let's see if they flip it back. I'm pretty sure they will. I think they just want to get Rob Jones some look there with the 1s.
Dig it. All right, so we've got Mr. Broadus out there in Oxnard, California. Now, real quick, your boys are getting to Oxnard today. Wolchuk's already Instagrammed out a picture of him on a plane. How does that whole logistically work? Are you picking them up from the airport? And then as far as, living arrangements, you've already got your place, right? Are they staying in the same hotel? How's that all work?
We're all at the same hotel. And Ruben Portilla is going out to grab the guy. So Ruben was nice enough to go out and get him while I'm going to watch some practice. So really excited about that, to be able to do that. I was worried that I was going to have to go do that, but it seems like we got everything worked out here, so we're good to go.
What has Carter done today?
Carter's sitting directly across from me right now. I think he's been posting some stuff about Ferguson, if you check on the website. I think he's been doing some of that stuff.
Nice. Tell him we're not going to bother sending him anything because I know he's busy, so don't tell him not to worry about it.
All
right. What's dinner look like tonight?
Have no clue. Todd Archer asked me to go, but with the guys being in town, I might have to go with them. It might be a Spencer McKenzie's night, which is a place that makes these outstanding fish tacos, fish burritos stuff. It really, really, really good. It's been around for a long time, and that seems to be the favorite. It's kind of a lot of food, inexpensive thing is what we got working there.
All right.
So I got to take Chief over to La Bonita, the Mexican
food you told about that yesterday. Real quick, 5 seconds. Give us a home run pick. Home run pick for today. Rangers.
Heim.
Jonah, that's 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
Time.
I also did Jonah Heim. Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Always a good time, and we're all a lot smarter after having some time with the Super Bowl winning scout, Mr. Brian Broaddus. Shout out, as always, to the one, the only, Khaki Kevin Walker behind the glass. Jared Sandler for stopping by today as well. To all you Tolos and Fatties out there. And, of course, the one, the only, the phenom himself, Mr. Blake Elliott. I'm Fred Davis. Enjoy the Rangers, Cowboys, everything in between. Good night. God bless.
Tolo.